Then as the city roars, tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry icy's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight. Every touchdown, every goal, feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal, feel the pulse that's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune it in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's pure delight.
Hey guys, what's going on? Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trunapole. We're live from Millions Sport Cafe. Can I get a hooday? Hooday! That was awful. Hooday. How about Go Lions? Does that work? Go Lions? Does that work? All right. All right, guys. We're down here at Millions. Come on down. We're down here each and every Friday night. Have some drinks, have some fun, talk some Bengals and sports and whatever the hell else you want to talk about. Let me put the graphic up here. Come on down here. Yeah, see, it says 6:30. See, I started the show earlier. Anyway.
You started at 6 last week, though.
Whatever. 6 or 6:30. Come on down. It's a good time. All right, I'm gonna bring in the boys. Yeah, we just have to go to 7:30 now. Exactly. There's Joe. There's Joe. Come on, guys.
What's happening, fellas?
What's going on?
Well,
we have a preview we can do with the Bengals.
Cowboys on Monday.
We can also stick ice picks up our.
Joe's just muted. Yeah, they're not music.
Instead of doing a preview, I can stick some ice picks up my toenails, and it might be less painful.
Hey, we got the Simpsons broadcast. Are you interested to watch that at all?
I am. That'll be fun as hell because the Simpsons have been around. It's funny as hell because they started right after the Bills' second Super Bowl appearance.
They're
still going.
They did. I remember that. That was
also crazy to think about how much the Simpsons has predicted life in general.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that is true.
Exactly.
With the Trump picture.
Well, that and then the Super Bowl with what was it a couple years ago with the Falcons and the Patriots.
Of course, when you've had almost 1,000 episodes, I don't know how many they've had.
Oh,
geez. Like 35 seasons, 20 episodes, 20 some odd episodes per. So it's over 700 to 800.
Well, thanks to the Simpsons broadcast that they're not flexing the Bengals out of Monday night. So
yeah, that's a positive.
I like it because I'll ask you guys this. I think it's bullshit that they flex them out of Thursday night just because of the people who got to buy tickets and all that stuff. It's bullcrap.
To do that, it's one thing if it's going from Saturday to a Sunday,
yeah,
or a 1 p.m. to an 8 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah,
you're talking a 3 day difference. People that are like having to change their travel arrangements.
Right.
Not everybody, not everybody who goes to the game lives in the city. Like people have to deal with travel arrangements. I know people that come from Chicago,
right,
that have to cancel. Like they got tickets to go with their kid, and they have to sell their tickets because they can't make it on the weekends. They've got other plans and stuff like that.
It's just like so. Our buddy, your uncle, Matty Meyer, won all expenses paid trip from Fantasy. By the way, shout out to Fantasy. Guys, everyone do traveling at Bengals games or anything like that, check out Fantasy. But he won a free trip there to go to the game, all that stuff. And that's airfare, that's hotel, all that stuff for a Monday night. And just say if people did that on Thursday night, they got to change everything.
Exactly.
And it's bull crap.
I don't know if you've ever dealt with airfare and airlines.
Oh, yes.
They suck ass.
Yeah. My wife's from Florida. We travel a lot.
Right. In every conceivable way. So being able to exchange tickets, and no.
Especially in my field when you travel for work and stuff. Too.
Yeah.
Oh, my airports. I'm still not over my trip to Florida that got canceled for the UCF game.
The
Shout out to Frontier. You guys suck.
Frontier is the only place worse than Frontier is. Have you ever flown Spirit?
I will never. Aren't we getting like sued or like
flaming hot garbage? Like
Spirit?
They are shit. I've flown them once, and it was.
Look, guys, I'm cheap, but I won't fly Spirit. That's one thing.
Yeah, we've flown. So, like I said, my wife is from Florida, and so Frontier or is it Frontier Allegiant? Look, we've had you pay for what you pay for.
Yeah, Frontier's fine.
Like,
Frontier, I didn't think
she's got
no
tickets
frill.
for less than $100 freaking dollars to fly to Florida, man. You can't drive down there, so yeah, 30. She got a ticket for $39.
Yeah, like
oh my,
Frontier's no frills, but it's fine.
It is what it is. You pay for it, but you can't drive down there for that cheap. So that's why I'm like, I'll give me the cheap airfare. And I'm a big guy, and it's very, very uncomfortable flying for 2 hours where I can't move, and my one leg is just locked there, and I'm just like in pain the entire time, but it's worth it.
The only reason why I got a Delta Amex card was for miles, and I upgrade and get like the comfort
First
class.
Yeah, no,
not first class.
Mr. Well, I got an
Comfort
card.
class.
No,
That's the. Only
I'm from the east side.
It's literally the only reason is going down to Orlando. It's a nice, easy flight, direct flight. And the extra room, and also I will upgrade my seat, and the kids, won't. So Cam will have to sit because he's big enough to sit by himself.
So the last time when we went, for right before Thanksgiving for my wife's birthday, we went back down to Florida, and her mother passed away, so she made a lot of flights down. So she got a lot of miles down there, so she could upgrade for free. So she was awesome enough to let me have her. She got an upgrade for free for an exit row and let me have it.
Those
my goodness, it was the greatest flight ever.
Glorious.
Oh, they're like, are you okay with doing that? Yep, I'm good. I'll pull the door. We crash. I'll let whatever.
No seat in front of you, so you have.
Dude, I could on the way down there, I could stretch all the way out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the chair didn't lean back, but my legs are all the way out. I'm just chilling.
The only issue is the TV because it's wonky because it's not on the headrest of the seat in front of you.
Yeah, well,
but that's exactly.
Yeah,
I'm watching.
I'm a small guy, so I mean, I don't have those flight issues.
Yeah,
I can get in that middle seat or I can get in that end seat. And regardless, I'm going to be sleeping on that flight. So.
See, I can't sleep on this flight. If I could lean the chair back, I could, but I can't
sleep. I can't sleep in any transport. It doesn't matter if I'm in a car.
See, I'm in that phase where I could sleep.
Well, the thing is, like, because I fall asleep and I do like that, and it wakes me up every time.
Yeah,
so I can't.
Even if I'm driving the car, I can't sleep. It's really.
Oh,
difficult.
dude, we've driven to Florida, and there's times where I'm driving like this, and I'm good. You're fine. Yep, I'm fine. And I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
And there's one time I'll never forget this. So I work at nights at UPS, and we were going on vacation, so I had to be working, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So I got home, we packed, we took off. I made it all the way to the border of Florida, and I got out going, I'm done. We had a minivan. I literally just laid on the floor and was out. My son, I was like walking to the hotel like this. He's like carrying me in, not carrying me, but kind of walking me in. I'm like, I feel drunk. I was so tired. I was up for almost 24 hours. So yeah,
we did that.
I would not recommend doing that, by the way.
Yeah, we did that coming back from our honeymoon, coming back from Orlando, and trying to make it to her aunt and uncle's house in Chattanooga.
Yeah,
and just because we were going to spend the night there if we made it, and we didn't. We got halfway between Atlanta and Chattanooga, and like slap happy, almost like you're drunk as shit. Just window cracked, rolled all the way down, radio blasting.
Yeah.
And you get out of the city, and there's a lack of lights, and it just gets like
that was like that
open
road.
highway. It's like
makes it worse.
That was
like we got to stop, and we stayed in some.
That was like covering the West Virginia game last year. Like we left early in the morning because West Virginia's a 4.5 hour drive.
Right.
We left at about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Nothing between here and there.
There's nothing.
Game was started at 7:30. We had to be to the stadium by like 2:30, 3 o'clock roughly. So we get there. We drive out there. We stop and get lunch or whatever. we're like, yeah, let's leave after the game. We leave the stadium at 1:30 in the morning. Me, Ryan Roberts, and my photographer Brandon. We're like, yeah, let's get in the car. Let's drive back. Didn't get back to Cincinnati till like 5:30 in the morning. We're like, what were we doing? What were we doing?
So, like I said, we went to Florida a lot. Then we would always go down there for Thanksgiving, get Thanksgiving, which is her mom's favorite holiday. So the weekend, I had to get back to go to work. So I think it's a couple days, maybe the day after Thanksgiving. I don't remember. We're driving back, and we hit traffic. I'm not kidding. If you've driven from Tampa, so you got 275 that goes up to 75. As soon as we hit 75, it was traffic all the way till before Macon. It took us a drive that's 6 hours. It was like 10, and we got it to Macon. I'm like, we're done.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
We found a hotel. I'm like, forget it. We're not going to get there. There's too much traffic. I'm like, we finally just said, sure, got a hotel and went swimming and then made it back up the rest of the way. But But what's your, since we're talking about this, what's your guys' or anybody in the bar here? What's your worst trips or whatever?
Also, kudos to my boy Joey in Regina, Saskatchewan.
Yes, sir. I was about to bring that up. Go ahead.
Just, I appreciate the ears and eyes. I know it's cold as shit up there. It was
a little bit.
He had I've got to remember because he always puts the measurements in
Celsius.
Well, in metric in terms of like the weather and how much snow and everything. But he had a shitload of snow a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. Like, fuck no, Joey, I love you. I would not live in Canada. Like it. No,
it snows in July there, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, there's definitely parts where they got snow.
Yeah,
like Canada like snows the entire time. Like,
it's
always snow.
There's skiing season, and then July.
Like you guys know how like we in Cincinnati or Ohio, the Midwest, we have boat season
at the same time in the same day.
Yeah,
they don't get that luxury. They don't get that luxury.
No.
They go
we
spring,
know
summer. Oh wait, there's winter.
We know there's actual summer there. It's only like 2 days though.
Yeah, and he's at like where he is. It's out in the plains where it's like it's just flat. It's like Montana or the Dakotas. So there's nothing to break up
the wind.
So the wind, it just
there always reminds me of Kansas City when I went to the AFC Championship game 2 years ago. Like
table flat.
Talk about travel experiences. How was your drive back from Kansas City after that game?
Oh, it sucked.
That drive to Kansas City, it's nothing but corn, and flat, and a couple wind turbines, whatever it might be.
Oh no! Keep going past Kansas City out into Kansas, and it's literally nothing. You can see like 30 miles on the horizon. And just a shitload of wind farms. Nothing but wind farms and nothing. Like there's no tree. You just see those big old the big arms in the farms that do the irrigation.
Yeah.
You see a shitload of those.
Right.
And wind turbines. That's it.
So my story going out to Kansas City,
450 fucking miles across the state too. By the way.
Yeah, it was long. So my story going out there. So my son Chandler just got a brand new car, and his rule was
put that mileage on his car.
Yeah, put the mileage on his car for sure. But his rule was, since it's a brand new car, I don't want anybody eating or drinking in there. Eating's fine, but can't drink anything. I'm like, no water, no nothing. I'm like, I think I could drink water. I think that's because if you spill it, it doesn't stand.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. So I brought bottles of water. I'm drinking that, and we hit past St. Louis, heading to Kansas City. There's nothing there.
You get maybe Columbia, and that's about it.
Yeah, 4 hours. And
we're driving, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go. I'm like, and all we see is corn. I'm like, dude, I'm like, you're gonna have to pull over on the side of the road or something. I'm gonna have to go. So finally, we found this RV place. They're selling RVs. So we pull in there, and he's like, you think we'll let you go there? I said, I don't care. I said, I'll go on the side of the building. I was like, at this point, I just gotta go.
Call the cops. We're going to be gone by the time they get here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So he pulls in, and it's got the doors that. Well, I found later the doors open. So the doors are mirrored.
Doors open. That's cool.
Well, the automatic doors.
Oh, okay.
So but the doors are mirrored. So I walk up to it, and I'm like, are they not open? It didn't freaking open. So I'm like, well, and I can't see in. So I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna screw this. I'm gonna go around the building. I'm gonna go over there. So I walk around the building. I was look at this camera there. I'm like, shit. I'm like, all right.
Did you enjoy the view?
Yeah. And by this time, starting to do a little dance. I'm like, all right. I'll go to the other side. I'll just go to this side. All of a sudden, I see a dude that's working, walking and going, Like, all right. I'm like, what? Then I'm like, where am I going to go? Because there's no trees. There's nothing there. You can't hide. I might be out in the middle of the park, like going, hey, you guys know. So then I see somebody walk out of the building, going, wait, the door works. So I walk up, and I'm like, and all of a sudden it opens up. I'm going, oh, thank God! I run in, and there's a reception. She's like, hi, how are you? I said, I'm great. I need your bathroom. Where is it? She's over there. All right. Like,
I don't give a shit about an RV.
I ain't buying nothing. I'm just using your bathroom and get the hell out of here. Like, it was ridiculous, dude.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yes. No, this is lovely sports time. Hey.
This is what happens late in the year. The Bengals are unfortunately irrelevant. Bearcat season is over, and basketball team is kind of just. It's kind of slow still, right?
So let's discuss.
We do got a comment in here from Joseph about what the Reds should do, so we can go ahead and.
We can talk about that real quick. Yeah. Joe being the, I won't say the Reds expert because I don't really want to say he's an expert at anything, but you pay attention a little more than I do.
I make it sound confident, so it seems like I know what I'm talking about.
That is true. You're very confident. No matter what you say, it could be complete crap, but you're not confident.
That's how you bullshit. You don't have to know what you're talking about, but you say it with full confidence. You say it full-throated, and you sound like an expert. How the hell do you think all these assholes on ESPN have jobs?
They just yell louder.
Exactly.
Hey, Joe,
and they say confidently.
Joe, I'll give you the real answer. They have money to spend, but we would love to see them spend Teoscar money.
They have Teoscar money. I think they will spend that amount.
We know the Reds franchise, they're going to spend Tyler O'Neill kind of money instead.
Even that, like I would be okay with Tyler. What I don't want them to do, and there's there have been things linking them with Jesse Winker. Terrible idea.
Terrible idea.
There have been things linking them with Jock Peterson.
Terrible
idea. You're getting platoon guys. If you sign both of them, first up, they're both awful in the outfield.
Speaking of Jock Peterson, wouldn't it be like a discredit to Tommy Pham to bring Jock
I don't
Peterson
think anybody
back?
cares. Like Tommy Pham,
not like nobody cares about that, but like
it would be a slap in his face.
And he lost the home run derby to Todd Frazier too. So let's not
wouldn't it be like a dishonorable thing though? Like you have this whole beef a few years ago.
Saying it would be a slap in the face.
And slapped over fantasy football too, which is crazy.
But from the year before.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Fantasy football beef. There was Tommy fans smacking Jock Peterson.
Do you guys think they'll do more stuff? I think they'll do more stuff than they did last year.
I think they will.
I don't, because they actually made a fair amount of moves last year. They didn't work out well.
But not enough.
Not the
right
one. They were
to me
more just throwing money at problems, but not at a particular problem.
To me, they did what the Bengals did. They made moves, just not the right ones.
Yeah, they made moves. Too
many moves. Yeah.
But in all fair, realistically, for the Reds too, like speaking of the moves they made last year, I'm glad they didn't get rid of Jonathan India last year. Because what would you have gotten for him?
Nothing.
Look at all the injuries. I'm not. He's a fine ball player. I was on the. If you can get anything for him,
send him.
Move on, because they're guys. They're more talented. That have more
pretty good guy from too.
Versatility, but they needed him last year because of all the injuries and PED.
Right, this is what I want to ask you guys, and this is what with them trading India, and I know they've the talk is out there about moving McLean to center field or playing center. With them trading India, to me that means they're pretty confident that Matt McLean's going to
be your second baseman for 150 games.
Yeah,
I don't see why they would.
You don't trade him otherwise.
I don't see why they would even move him to the outfield.
That's the dumbest thing ever. I have no idea.
We have tested that route out in the past, and it has been awful for years to come. But Matt McLean, when he is healthy, and he showed that during his rookie year, like that's your everyday starting second
He's
baseman.
a great defender. And everyone, all these people that talk about moving Ellie to the outfield, he's tall, he's got great wheels and an arm.
Look,
he is a great defensive shortstop.
I'll put it this way.
And a great defense. Let me finish my thought.
Right,
and a great defensive shortstop, even a solid defensive shortstop, solid defensive second baseman is more valuable than any kind of defense you can get from the outfield.
I agree.
The airs don't bother me because he had the same amount of airs at age 22 that Barry Larkin had at age 23 in fewer games. And Barry Larkin was a fantastic defensive shortstop, won Gold Gloves. I'm not worried about the errors at all. They'll get fixed in time. It's him rushing and just getting a little sloppy with footwork, or just
he's athletic and he just makes stuff because he can.
Right. You can't teach that athleticism.
He's got
and the ability for him to go deep in the hole with that arm. You can't synthesize that. You can't get anyone to get that.
So the only reason I've said
It's noon and all.
Yeah.
Never July. Exactly.
there you go. There you go.
Snowing season, and then there's July.
So get back to Ellie to center field. The only reason that I have said that is because Arroyo, they say, which I don't know, but they say he's the best defensive shortstop in the organization. That's the only reason. And to me, if he can hit, and he is a better defensive shortstop than Ellie is, that's why I would move. And I like Marte at third. I know you're not totally sold on it.
Well, I was before last year.
Yeah, and I get that.
And it's well, the question is now, was that all juice? He's off the juice, and he looked terrible. His defense was awful. He was a passable defensive.
He was a
third
damn
baseman.
good third baseman.
He looked like a solid third baseman,
and
he was awful at every aspect of the game last year, and it's concerning.
I don't know. I can't see how that would help your range. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't. I mean, you look at like
your quickness to help speed, not.
And you look at the other way,
strength,
like
not speed.
If you bulk up too much, that's going to adjust
you
your
slow.
it's going to hurt your flexibility, and it's going to make you less.
So I just chalk it up to the 50-game suspension. They didn't really give him a spring training, and
he was. I can't believe that he went that they promoted him as quickly. As
you're right,
they didn't even
exactly.
give him 2 games in the minor league.
Yeah,
it was as soon as because he was allowed to come back 10 days before. He had a 80-game suspension. I think after 70 games, he was allowed to start a rehab.
Yeah.
And as soon as that 80th day, he was on the MLB roster because they needed help.
Him, right?
But it would have been better for him
to stay down there for probably an extra week.
I mean, we've had veteran players who miss spring training and stuff. It takes them, till after the All-Star break, right, to get your time back to get.
And he started right before the All-Star break.
So that's where I'm like, I want to see what happens this year. I'm still not. I'm in on him.
I'm willing to give him a mulligan for this year, but he needs. I would not, and I've said this before. He isn't guaranteed a spot on the 26-man roster. If he comes in and he's out of shape, or he's not playing winter ball, that's not important overall. It would have been nice to see him go out and rake just for confidence. See him hitting like 350 or at least 320 with some power. But he's
the season he had, he might just need a mental break.
Step away.
Just get away. Yeah.
Right. I mean, the kid is what, 22?
22, 23,
yeah. And then he gets the suspension. I mean, obviously, it probably messed with him in the head a little bit, like the mental aspect of things, and then he never got right. But, I mean, on top of it, like you mentioned, Joe, if he comes into spring training out of shape, struggles.
I think the defense, if he comes in and he looks slow on defense, that tells you a lot about where he is mentally.
Yes.
Because the offense, it's hard to hit a baseball. Like
I'm taking a round bat and hit a round ball.
You give me 100 pitches, I'm hitting 0.
Yeah.
I'm hitting 0.
It's funny when you hear people like across sports, I could throw a touchdown pass or I could gain 10 yards. I could hit a 3-pointer. I think baseball, in terms of like the very specified skill of hitting a baseball, that's the hardest thing to do. Watch, again, Pitching Ninja is probably my favorite sports account to follow.
Trevor Bauer's videos are incredible. Yeah. Well, watch his stuff.
Well, you watch like Pitching Ninja, and they'll do overlays. They'll show
when it goes from here.
Yeah, they'll show 4-seamer. They'll show their 2-seamer. They'll show their cutter, and then they'll show their
breaking
slider.
Ball.
All 4 coming out from the exact same spot,
and then one goes.
And then all of a sudden, like they all go 4 different ways, and you're like,
you got to recognize that about what 2 seconds?
Not even that.
It's like 0.03 seconds.
It's ridiculous.
It's literally faster than you can blink an eye.
Because you also got to think like it's a professional baseball mound, 60 feet 6 inches. That is realistically for us sitting here in Millions Cafe. That is from where this table is to the door right over there. Just about.
That's ridiculous.
Not much further from it.
Yeah. And I've said this a million times. The hardest to do is take a round bat and hit a round ball.
Square up a round ball.
Square up because you physically, you can't.
No.
And the guys that do it is unbelievable. And just like you said, to try to figure out what that ball's going to do when it comes out of the same arm angle. I agree. It's the hardest thing to do in sports, and like I said, especially when you might die. It can hit you in the head.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I'm willing to give Marte, if he's struggling with the bat a little bit in spring training. Again, spring training, you're not seeing the same pitching. You're not seeing the same pitchers. You're not seeing the same sequencing that you're going to see in the regular season. I'm okay with that. It's the defense, and especially 100% conditioning.
Yeah.
Again, and that's always been his, I don't want to say issue, but you see all these scouting reports when he was with Seattle or when they traded him. he's got a body style that they're concerned he's going to put on a lot of weight,
Right.
and he's
He's
going
a
to be
bigger
too
guy.
big to play the outfield because he's got a wider build. And I don't want to say he looked doughy, but I mean, he
wasn't as svelte as he was the year before.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not a guy who's absolutely just like ripped and cut and like
he's
6% body fat.
He can't just do nothing in the offseason. He's got to maintain his diet and weight training and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So,
but I'm not out again.
No,
long story short, I'm not out.
So I have a question. So who are, for me, the starting? Not to want to say the starting rotation, but the starting 9 minus pitcher. Who are your locks? The only ones for me that are locks: Ellie, Steer, and McLean.
Ty Steve.
Oh, Ty,
I would
Steve,
go Tyler Stevenson at
Steve,
catcher.
Right, yeah.
First base, obviously pending
It's
how he recovers.
It's either Jamer or CES.
Yes.
I would go CES.
Or CES or Jamer. Like those two will be.
And
your
then on
first base
top of it,
DH.
second base, you go Matt McLean. Shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz. Third base, Noelle Marte.
He's penciled in there.
Left field.
Or Jamer at third too.
Yeah.
Left field, you go Spencer Steer. Center field, you go TJ Friedel, and then right field.
Right field, you need a trade for somebody.
Right field is
That's
the big
the spot
question
right there.
mark. Where
See, I would be.
but realistically,
happy.
I think they keep Jamer as a DH to start the season, depending how or not Ellie Noelvi comes.
But
out.
it also depends on where Jamer is because he had knee injuries, and he's another guy I'm willing to give a pass because he was dealing with knee issues all year long, and his defense was bad, and he wasn't a good hitter.
It was a good year for him.
Yeah, it was either
overall.
dealing with knee injuries. He couldn't move. You saw him out there trying, even playing first base. It was awful to see him try to just navigate.
Candelario, it was kind of similar to an Adam Dunn situation. Like he was either hitting a nuke out of the park or he was striking out. There was no in between.
Yeah.
And for the majority of this season, it was okay. He hit what 24, maybe 24.
Candelario?
Yeah.
Not even that much. It was
not even that much. It was like 18,
it was
24
a dozen or
range.
something because he missed half the.
But either way, it was not as much as what they paid him to single-handedly do.
Yeah, I mean, every metric you look at, batting average, on base percentage, slugging, everything was down because he was. I'm allowing just because he was injured, and you hope that he comes back, that he's the guy. Because he's not old. I think around 30, in that range ish. Like he's not past his prime. Okay, yeah, he's 31 years old. Okay. He hit. Okay, so he did.
He hit 20
last
last year.
Okay, that's actually more than I thought. 707 OPS. Again, that's. He wasn't terrible. I think it's just because he had the knee injuries, and
he's trying. He tried too much.
He played through it.
He played through it because he's a free agent. Because he's supposed to come in and make. And that is a thing.
Right.
Guys, when you get the money and you're coming to a new situation, you're trying to prove or justify your money.
That 225 is a horrendous 225 though.
Yeah, I mean, I can deal with 225. If
how
you're
many
out there
strikeouts did he have on the season? Let's look.
I don't know, 114 in 420 plays. I mean, that's only about 100.
That's only about 1/3 of your out.
Or
1/3, 1/4.
130. You know, you're talking the entire season because he had 427 at bats instead of 500, 600. So I mean, it's
still significantly
it's acceptable.
high.
So all right, so the spot we all agree with is right field. So
right field, yeah.
So
I want two everyday outfielders. You make Steer into your plays 6 games a week, but he plays a game at first, a game at second, a game at third, and he'd be corner and DH. And you have 2 starting, and then Friedel is moved to a corner. That's if I'm GM, that's what I want to have happen.
All right, let's
realistically
let's play GM here, Joe. So realistically, I'm saying realistically, not what the LA Dodgers would do, not all that. Sure. Realistic, the Reds. So who out there, in your opinion, that they could get to either be the everyday right fielder or 2 outfielders that you can move Steer around? Who are guys out there that you think are possibilities that they could trade for or sign?
So I mean, like Joey said, I mean, Teoscar Hernandez is definitely a guy. Like, they have the money out there. They are nowhere near where their payroll is just a couple years ago. They're at around 100.
They can add.
They have the money. They will add money.
And I honestly do think they'll spend more than they did last year. I do think,
or at least
try. Yes.
And Tyler O'Neill would be a good fallback option. Unfortunately, these guys are a little bit older. They're in their 30s, but
I don't think that's a bad thing for this team though, to get an older guy.
But it has to do with like how long of a contract you're dealing with, because
right.
Corner outfielders,
locker room goes and
right. So especially if they have leadership capabilities. Corner outfielders seem to age terribly. And once they hit 33, 34, 35, that production
Drops.
especially they're usually bigger guys, so they start to have knee issues or back issues, and that production just absolutely just and is gone. But I would do Teoscar Hernandez. I would do Tyler O'Neill.
Anything over Will Benson.
Yeah, exactly. And
Well, I like Will Benson on the bench.
Yeah, keep him on the bench, but he's not your everyday starter.
Louisville, Jake Fraley on the bench.
You need 2 outfitters though.
Well, but Stu, because I mean, Stu is a reasonable. Stu is not an everyday player. I like Stu as a backup outfitter.
He's
he
a
plays
good
great
defensive
defense,
guy.
and he
Right.
runs the bases well, and he has power. He can run into the ball.
Well, my only thing against Stu is just how many times freaking David Bell used him.
He was exposed because he
I don't
played
think
way too much.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think David Bell utilized him in the right spot.
God,
no.
and
He's
injury.
not-
He can hit, but there was no one else hitting, so he's literally throwing shit against the wall.
I know.
At that point, again, I'm not defending, but
I know.
I get it.
I got sick and tired of seeing Stewie come up in big moments. Like,
Yeah, but what have I been saying? Where have I been saying they're going to get their big impact in the offseason?
trade.
A trade, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Whether it's
whether it's
who
Lou
are you
Bob,
trading?
who well you put it out because you talk about Steer moving around,
Yeah.
but that's who you said you dangle out there.
I think that's someone again. Like his value took a little bit of a hit, but he's still young.
Yeah, 2020. So how
Right. Well, his you look all the peripheral stuff went down. His walk rate was kind of similar. But
it didn't go down that much though. You're still getting that to me. That's your most. That's the guy you can. And I agree with what you said.
He
can
didn't
get
take
the
a step.
most.
He didn't take a step. That's
I
what I
put
mean.
that. But he's consistent. You can get. I think out of the guys that we could afford to technically lose, which I love Steer. I hate to lose him. You could get a good outfielder for him. I think.
I think
Or maybe
Spencer Steer,
Along
someone
with-
like
maybe I had one of the pitchers too.
well, yes,
Steer and one of the younger pitchers.
Spencer Steer and either Abbott or Ashcraft. We all love Dougie, but I'm just saying.
I don't want to trade either one of those, but yeah.
Ashcraft obviously has a
What
lot more
about-
value,
what about Connor Phillips?
and then a minor league, or
Yeah, you
whether
could
it's.
throw Connor Phillips
Connor
in there for a
Phillips?
package as well.
I don't know what his value is because he had such a.
I know.
Because his last year was the worst case scenario of everyone who saw how good he was in 23. He's got these walk issues.
He never
and
recovered.
That
I've said this.
completely was
He never
all
recovered
left.
from that last game in 2023.
You're over. You're like
But
there
he
are
hasn't
30
been the same. He hasn't been the same. Say
but
what
I
you
mean,
want.
but there are 30 starts in the season. He had other crappy starts. I
Yeah, but
guarantee
that
he had
was
other
one
crappy
that was a huge game for a young guy that basically knocked us out of any chance of being in the playoffs after he couldn't get out of the first inning.
But I don't think again.
It's a
how-
mental
how
game,
many-
dude. It hurt him. It did. You can't say it didn't hurt him. You can't
I
say it
don't-
didn't hurt him because he was never. He hasn't
I'm
been
not
the
saying
same.
like it was the last start of the season. Then he walked into the next season,
And
and they brought in guys in front of him. They brought in Nick Martinez. They brought in Frankie Montas. So he was back further down the thing. Who knows that?
Yeah, but
didn't hurt-
the
that didn't
minor
hurt
leagues
his
he didn't pitch that good. That's the thing.
What's
That's
that?
what, in the minor leagues he didn't pitch that good, so he never recovered from it. His minor league season wasn't as good, nearly as close to as good
That's
as
what
it
it
was.
was.
Before.
And, yeah.
But again, the issues were walks. You take away his issue has always been walks, and he reverted to being a walk merge and just walked everybody, and that's where the problem was. So this wasn't like these issues just popped up.
No, they just got
cut
worse
down on
because
the
he
walks
did it. Well, that's what he did in the majors. Look, all I'm saying is that start didn't help him at all.
It didn't help, but
No,
I
think it hurt him mentally more than anything.
I don't know.
I don't know for sure. I'm just saying from what I've seen. He had a walk issue before, and he walked damn near everybody in the first inning.
And
that didn't help.
Well, and
and,
the issue,
that's a mental thing that he has to get over. And I don't think when you're in the major leagues and you're trying to put you in that spot. Like, all right, this is your proving that you really showed this team you're worth it, and he didn't. That's going to weigh on you. It just is. Anyway.
well, and ultimately, I think he's another guy whose ultimate place is going to be in the bullpen because that's kind of been the thing. He has electric stuff. Again, it's not like there's a panacea. Just put a guy in a bullpen and all of a sudden he's lights out. We know that's not how this works.
Right.
But someone who has limitations, whether it's going through multiple times the order or Graham's issue, he doesn't strike out, like he doesn't miss enough bats, which for
this
some
stuff, he's a ground ball pitcher. He needs to be more of a ground ball pitcher.
Pare down your pare down your repertoire. Same thing for Connor Phillips. Figure out 2 pitches that you can throw over the plate. That you can not only control but command, like you can spot them, whether it's fastball, slider, whether it's whatever. I think that's a bigger there's going to be a more value for him there. Like Again, whether that's with the
You know,
Reds, whether that's
he
with the
could,
trade.
the whole point is he could be a trade piece.
Yeah,
with
there's
Steer.
a possibility.
You package it.
Or the Reds now have depth in starting like major league
right.
capable. And again, that's why someone like Abbott, I think, because there's rumors that they were talking about Garrett Crochet, who's a stud.
Oh, really?
Chris Sale like 8 years ago. Absolute stud.
But has
Throws
struggled
100.
over the
But I mean, he's also a guy like that. He's working back from injuries and stuff like that, and just hasn't worked his way up to
He was a stud coming out of college and stuff.
Where is he at
He
now?
played in
Chicago White Sox.
Okay.
He was a first-round draft pick too.
I think he played that year. He got drafted.
Yeah, I think so.
Went straight to. I think he debuted against the Reds, if I'm not mistaken. Electric stuff. Left-hander, throws 100 miles an hour.
And he's a big lefty too, like 6'5", 6'6".
Big lefty.
Yeah,
Throws 100 miles an hour and a wipeout slider. So that to me thinks that the Reds are going to, or at least are looking to move Abbott, Ashcraft, maybe even Lodolo out of. I don't think Lodolo is more valuable to the Reds.
So
because
if
of his
you,
injuries.
I hate the idea of trading Abbott, but
if you trade pitching for pitching, I'm cool with it.
Well, put it this way: if you get a pretty good package, if you put Steer and Abbott, I think you could get an outfielder and another pitcher for those two.
You would. It depends on who it is, and because unfortunately, a lot of it just comes down to money. Whether if it's someone like Luis,
they don't cost anything. They're both on working contracts still.
Well, Luis Robert still has no. I mean the other way, coming back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Garrett Crochet isn't making anything. Luis Robert has a major league contract, and if it's something like because he's had injury issues, would the Reds kick in a prospect for them to eat money, or would they kick in a prospect for the Reds to take all the money? I would love for the Reds to figure out a way to put in a huge return to get Garrett Crochet and Lubbock.
So to me,
I think that would be a hell of a
if
trade.
you're trading Steer and you're trading Abbott, you're trading.
You'd have to add more than those for those two.
Yeah, you'd have to add more than both of those.
It would be It would be Cam Collier or South Stewart, or it would be.
That's the exact opposite. I'm thinking because you're adding an everyday solid player in Steer, play left field, third base, second base, first base, and you got Abbott, who's been one of our most consistent starting pitchers the last 2 years.
Right.
You have to add more than that
because those.
I wouldn't do it then
because Lubob's an all-star outfielder, and
I don't
Garrett
care.
Crochet's an all.
Two guys
Garrett, but
Abbott could be.
But
an all-star.
also you're bringing in Luis Robert
Definitely
to a hitter's ballpark.
exactly.
A hitter's ballpark would be crazy with Luis Robert.
I mean, I don't know.
I would trade. I would so long as the Reds have 7 starting pitchers that are major league capable starting pitchers between their starting rotation, and whether you have them as a long man out of the pen or down in Louisville.
And maybe I'm just too much a homer. I value the guys we got more than they are.
Maybe.
But those two guys have meant a lot to this team. They played very meaningful innings and
ultimately
come through a lot.
In sports and especially baseball, you are nothing but an asset. You have some value. It's whether that value is better on your current team or being used as a chip to bring in other stuff. And it's right. That's why sports are hard to take your emotions out of it because.
And Joe does that all the time, and I don't.
Yeah,
that's why we argue.
And that's why I try to because I obviously I love all these guys and I don't want to see them go, but I understand.
I don't care who goes except for McLean and Ellie. Other than that,
those guys aren't going.
I want to win.
Hunter Green.
They're not going to trade Hunter Green.
Hunter Green. I'm not trading Hunter Green.
Hilarious.
I'm not trading Lodolo either because I know he's been injured. But dude, I'm telling you,
he has no value on the trade. Like
he has no value.
Not no value.
I'm just saying he's a guy with
limited value.
I would say no value.
It's hilarious. People are out there saying, "I hope they don't." They're going to end up trading Chase Burns, aren't they? They can't. You can't trade a draft player until a year after the draft. Like,
oh really?
The Reds can't trade Chase Burns until July. Like, quit worrying about that. People settle down. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a rule. So.
Yeah, that's for newly draftees.
Yeah,
they can't
you
be
gotta wait a
That's
year.
That's why Chase Petty was a player to be named later.
Okay.
When they traded with the Twins, was that Sonny Gradio? I think.
That was the Tyler Malley deal.
Was Tyler Malley? Okay, they couldn't announce him until time passed until he was a year past his draft day.
Okay.
So
let's get we got here. He says Steer every day at first base if they sign over. If they get 2 outfielders, I think he'll be there every day first baseman Jamer, third, and CSDH.
I think those guys are all going to be moved around. And again, if they get 2 outfielders, I think that Steer becomes a legitimate utility guy that he can play 5 days a week at 5 different spots. He can play at second base.
That
he
might
can
be
fill
his
in a
most
third.
valuable thing for the Red.
And he's not great at any defensive spot, but
he's good.
He can play left field. He can play center. He can play third. He can play second.
My son gets me all the time that Steer's awful. Steer's not awful. I mean, he's not a Gold Glover at any position, but he's good. I mean,
if you look at the metrics, his numbers look bad everywhere. But
I don't look at metrics. I look at the game he plays.
Right,
he gets to every ball he can get to. To me, that's also to metrics and all that bull crap. I know, but every ball he can get to, he gets to. And
you're explaining why Derek Jeter won Gold Gloves despite being a terrible shortstop.
Right. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like you have a physical range. You have
it's not the physical range. It's not in that split second when the camera flips from the pitcher, from looking over the pitcher's shoulder to the infield to where the ball's hit. You get to that ball like that. That's the trick of camera work. It's in terms of if there's a ball 3 feet to your left or 3 feet to your right.
For 100 fucking years, it was if you had a range and that's what your range was. It's not. Oh my God, you should have a bigger range. You don't have that. That's you. As long as you can get to what you can get to, you were considered a good defensive player. Now it's like, oh my God, you can't get to the ball over there. Like, wait, no, he can't. That's not in his toolbox. That's why metrics, to me. That's where it's cool. You love that stuff, but it doesn't translate to every player.
But it's trying to. That's the thing.
But
like,
it doesn't.
Advanced metrics. When you talk about
it doesn't translate.
You talk about wins above replacement. But that's like again. But it's all trying to find.
You have to have a balance. You can't just go. Oh my God, you can't play there because you can't go 500 yards that way to go get a ball. That doesn't work.
But I mean, like Ozzie Smith. Ozzie Smith was not a very good hitter. Hall of Fame shortstop, right?
Yeah.
But if we're just measuring players just how they hit, like it's all about weighing. It's about trying to weigh everything.
I think we'll forget
which I am. That's what you're weighing what they actually can do.
Right. I think you want to forget that Jose Altuve is a MLB Hall of Famer and he's only 5'4".
He's not 5'4". He's like 5'2".
Yeah, 5'2".
He's listed at 5'4".
5'4" on a good day.
You see him next to Aaron Judge, and it's like a foot and a half difference.
But still, like people forget, like he might not have the range that everybody else has.
It's like metrics. People look at him going, if you went by,
it's about quick feet.
But the thing is, if you went by what you said, he would never be in the majors.
That's not true at all.
That is absolutely true.
It has nothing to do with how tall or how short you are. If that were it, then you'd have all 6'6" shortstops. It's about range. It's about how quick your feet are, how well you read the ball off the bat. It's not about being able to get there.
It actually is about being able to get there. That's exactly what it is.
It's not about how tall you are or how long your reach is. It's how quickly you can get to the ball.
Right. You're correct. And
Billy Hamilton,
get to the ball you can get to.
Billy Hamilton was the fastest player I've ever seen in my life. He was 6 foot. That doesn't
have to do with anything. You're
talking
get to the ball you get to.
You said Jose Altuve. Going off my metrics.
I said.
Yeah, he said that.
Right. But I mean, you said, well, going off of what I said,
because you think everything is analytics, and that's where I'm like.
He passes everything analytics. He's a Hall of Fame hitter and a solid
he would not if he. Nobody gave him a shot. If you look at him, if you were just strictly
the
analytics,
Astros are the most analytically advanced team
Houston
in all
gave
of
him
Major
a shot,
leagues.
and he started banging trash cans.
He won't let me talk, so I'm done. All right, so
Houston
we're
gave
down
him the
here
shot.
At Millions Sports Cafe, having a great time. I'm arguing with this guy who won't let me talk. But if you guys want to conversate at the bar, you can. If not, you all can sit there and drink and have a good time.
We got a Lions fan up here.
Yeah, we
I'm
got a
down
Lions
to
fan.
talk Lions football right now.
Want to talk some Lions? Are you excited? You got yes, say on the mic so everybody can hear you.
No, I just want to hear your thoughts on Dan Campbell's big ass balls.
He has huge nuts.
Hey, that 4th and 1 call, I'll say it right now, was crazy, but I'm here for it.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. It's the dumbest move of all time.
It was
Jesus Christ.
It was dumb, but in the end,
Dan
it's like
Campbell you trust and Jared Goff you trust, even though he's tripping while he's doing it.
like I told you before, if that's the Bengals, we trip and we fumble the ball.
if that's the Bengals, Jeremy Hill is for sure somewhere in the stands.
Well, I got news for you guys. The Lions are going to lose 2 coordinators this year. Which one would you rather have?
Say that one more time.
The Lions are going to lose 2 coordinators this year. Which one would you rather have?
I'll take Ben Johnson.
Wrong answer.
What's the right answer?
Aaron Glenn. You want that defensive coordinator. The Lions don't have a good defense on paper.
Right now, they're down, 7 or 8 starters?
So many starters. And
DJ
those guys
last night.
bend but don't break defense. That's exactly what the Bengals need.
Their
Ben
their
Johnson,
roster building. Their
Joe
roster
Burrow
building
doesn't
has been-
need Ben Johnson. Joe Burrow needs Aaron Glenn.
I would love the Burrow with Ben Johnson, who's just more.
Congratulations. You just lost a game 52-53.
What is fun to watch.
We've been doing that all year.
They're losing games 44-38, so at least they're scoring 2 more tutties.
All right. Let me ask you.
Aaron Glenn. I am a Bengals fan
I'm with
as well.
you. We
Aaron Glenn is what the Bengals need.
we need defense. I agree with you. That is
You
the
don't-
problem with this team. We've lost 4 or 5 games where we scored over 30 freaking points and yet lose. That's defense.
Guys, there's a good point.
Aaron Glenn could
6
pick up.
games, sorry.
Aaron Glenn could pick up the guy picking up the garbage out of Millions Cafe, and he'd find a way to make that guy play good defense. That's what the Bengals need.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, that's like, I love Lou.
I want the Bengals to succeed. They don't need Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson will succeed somewhere. That's not what
Well,
Joe
the thing,
Burrow needs.
that's the thing, is that's where the Bengals, for him, I don't want doing that. If they were to move on from Lou, or something, they need to make changes in this defense somehow. Somehow, something's got to change. They got to change the philosophy, because look at Cam Taylor-Britt. He's going backwards. I mean, yes, I know he had the pick 6, which is great, but he was supposed to be our number 1 cornerback.
Geno Stone.
Geno Stone has been awful. You know, I mean, the guys we brought in have not worked.
Sam Hubbard, his biggest
Sam Hubbard's
plays-
hurt again, but still, yeah, he's
Liability.
Sam
Why-
Hubbard. Every
why-
time Sam Hubbard's on a big play, it's like, dude, big play, but you're completely out of place. You're in the wrong spot when you made that big play. It's the only reason he makes big plays is because he was completely out of position.
right. I
And
mean,
it's because Trey Hendrickson freed everything up.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
Came off
yeah.
the other
Well,
end.
that's the thing that drives me nuts, is because Joe looked at the snaps earlier. Miles Murphy, or Joseph Osai is still out snapping everybody, which I understand plays both sides of the ball, but we need pressure on the quarterback. We had this guy who was our number 1 draft pick last year named Miles Murphy. Find out what he can do. Oh, now you're gonna grab your mic. Find out what he can do. You got to see if he can be the guy to help Trey. And that we're not going to playoffs. I mean, we're not. I'm the most optimistic guy here.
It's a lost year.
Yeah.
I say we. I'm a Lions fan. 1, 2.
I'll let you
but
say
we've been pushing this button up for like 5 weeks now. Or like all they have to do is win out, and they're just not winning.
And they haven't won in a month and a half.
If they were to win out from today, yeah, they got a shot. They haven't fucking won a game since then. No, it's
Nope.
just loss after loss after loss. So it's a
and
different
they're all
story
going to
now.
score 30 points.
And how cushy is Zach Taylor's job? Marvin Lewis coached the
Oh,
Bengals for
Zach's
how
not
many
going
years?
16 seasons
Yeah,
of
I mean,
mediocrity.
Yeah.
Zach's not going, and everybody who keeps putting this stuff out there that oh, the Bills need Bill Belichick, that you all need to get that
No,
out
they don't
of
need
your
Bill-
mind.
No,
That is
Bill
not happening.
Belichick was. I used to say Tom Brady was only successful because of Bill Belichick, but I think I was proven wrong.
Yeah.
I think Bill Belichick was successful because of
You
Tom
you
Brady.
you get
It was
Joe,
a mutual successful agreement. But
you get Joe Burrow and you get Zach Taylor a defense. Oh my God, Zach Taylor's a genius again.
you
That's true.
you take Zach Taylor, sell his house out of Mount Lookout up the street, send him on the road, and put Aaron Glenn there, and they're Super Bowl contenders again.
But are they, though? At the end of the
I don't
day,
know about that. They
the
need a
Bengals'
defense.
defense
Yeah.
sucks. It's
So does the Lions.
well, no. I'm saying like
Talent wise,
they suck because of talent. It's
the
Lou
Lions
Anarumo-
have no
Lou
talent
Anarumo
on
was a
defense.
great defensive
My voice, I
coordinator
hate that I hear
when
it.
he had DJ
Yeah,
Reader,
yeah.
when he had Jesse
And
Bates,
that's
when he
any
had
coach.
Chidobe Awuzie.
Yeah, and
They
that's it.
let those guys walk. And again, I understood the moves at least I understood DJ Reader's because coming off it wasn't the move, but at least that made sense.
Neither
They
was Sheldon Rankins.
He's also a
Right.
Detroit Lion.
What's that?
DJ Reader.
Yeah,
Right,
he
right,
was Detroit. Yeah,
exactly.
you're welcome.
I understood the move of getting outbid
it
for
was-
guys coming back
they're
from the injury.
Trying to play chess. I don't think that they had a guy that they paid equal amount of money who's doing around the same job. It was a chess move, and yeah, the Lions probably got the better end of it, but they didn't know that at the time.
Well, you got lucky that I won't say lucky, but you guys are right that he was able to recover from his injury.
Yeah.
That's to me. That's why the Bengals weren't sold. Because and
he's
DJ
missing. He missed the other game. Like
Yeah.
he's at. I think I saw his.
and I love
last
DJ.
game,
I was pissed. He's my favorite defensive player.
his snap count through this season right now with the Lions, pretty much right in line with the snap count with the Bengals. He played about 41 to 43%
Yeah.
of of possible snaps for the Bengals, and he's at 41, 43%, somewhere in that range. And one was 41, the other was 43. He's right in that same range for the Lions. And that's the concern of paying him and guaranteeing the money. But if you can't scout your own guys and realize you have absolute shit behind them,
right?
And when that guy leaves, you have nobody to pick up that slack, then you need to realize you need to overpay that guy, because the guys they brought in, Sheldon Rankins, isn't like, even if Sheldon Rankins did what he was supposed to do, he's not a run stopper. He's
he never was. He's
Sheldon Rankins. Fun fact: my tiny high school girl I graduated with, she married Sheldon.
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
there's a little fun fact.
The thing, I mean, we talked about this before. The thing that the Bengals have screwed up the last 2 years, they didn't have
agency.
Free agency,
right?
But the thing is, they didn't have
for 2 years.
They didn't have a plan. But all right, so we went back. So when they signed Kappa and Karras, they had a plan. Bam, we're out the gate. We're going to sign these guys.
Hit them. Literally, both were signed like within
day one,
15 minutes.
Right. That and that's the thing. I think the Bengals' plan hasn't been there. Like,
It's back to waiting for guys,
right.
Waiting for money to come back to where they are.
And that's where it's if they don't think people are going to leave for more money, then you're back. You're not thinking right, because if people are going to pay you more money, they're going to leave.
But you guys are going to individual talent again, and that's why I am preaching to Bengals fans. And
you can preach it, but what we're saying is actual facts. We lost talent. If you don't have talent, if Ben Johnson is very good. I agree with you. They have a more talented defense all around than the Bengals do.
Even with the injuries,
they do.
I disagree.
Well, you could bring back Buddy
wrong.
Ryan, Marvin Lewis in his prime with the Ravens, Mike McDonald. You could bring all those guys back to co-defensive coordinate. It doesn't matter because there is no outside of Trey Hendrickson. He's the only even average. Well, Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson. For as bad as the run defense was, he had a 90th grade of run defense this year. Logan Wilson and Trey Hendrickson are your only two average starters on that defense. Not even above average. They're the only two average starters. Everyone else is below average.
So back to your point when you said Bill Belichick wasn't as good without Tom Brady. Yeah, that's the argument right there. Yeah, Lou Anarumo is not as good. If you don't have talented players, you can be the greatest coach in the world. Look at the 85 Bears.
They are talented. They're NFL players.
Once they lost their talent, they weren't as good. I'm telling you, it's true. You can look at it throughout history.
Okay.
A coach is only as good as the players he has on the field. You can have the greatest coach ever.
You can cover up a little bit with scheme.
When you have
and that's what I was getting at. Aaron Glenn he's got a billion Band-Aids in his pocket.
I would not be upset if he were the new coach. I like him. I liked him as a player.
And with
I'm just disagreeing with what you're saying as far as he can make what we have to what the Lions have. He can't. It might be a little better, but it's not going to be as good.
There's a lot that needs to be.
I'm not saying they can do the exact same thing.
Yeah, okay.
I'm saying that that's what the Bengals need. When the Bengals had
the Bengals need talent. That's what the Bengals need. They need talent on that side of the ball. They don't have talent.
They need.
Who's playing linebacker for the Lions right now?
No idea.
Exactly. It's a fourth string guy who came off the practice squad of the Giants.
To be fair, linebacker is the least important spot on the defense.
Not on the Detroit Lions.
I get your point. I'm just being down 8
I know.
What if everybody else around him is stepping up and he doesn't have to do as much? So that's where I go back.
Exactly. But it's every single position for the Lions where they've lost so many starters and backups. So it's every guy stepping up.
I do have to ask the question.
What I'm trying to say here. So the Bengals, our biggest problem with our defense, in my opinion, we do not get consistent pressure on the quarterback. The Lions do. You get consistent pressure on that quarterback. It fixes a lot of shit. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, and the best defensive player in the NFL is.
If we had 2 or 3 other guys that could get consistent pressure on the quarterback, our defense would not be as bad. It wouldn't be.
It's a system thing.
It's not a system thing. It's a talent thing. It's a talent.
It's a mix of both.
DJ Reader, who's our edge rusher? Who's our edge rusher right now? Zadarius Smith came from the Browns. He's not as good as Trey Hendricks. Who's our edge rushers?
But you're still getting pressure on the quarterback.
Let me answer. I'm asking this out of ignorance because I'm asking this out of ignorance because I don't know who the players that are playing right now for the Lions. Are they veterans or are they young?
They're
all
younger.
Okay.
All younger.
It's a mixture.
It's
a mixture.
I've seen just saw an article today. I think it was in the Athletic about how the Lions went from literally laughing. So I mean, Lions Lions are one of the few organizations that can't dunk on the Bengals in their history. That they've gone from that to being right now the envy of the league for their roster building because of how they've drafted, how they brought in guys, because how they're able to handle. They traded Matthew Stafford, who ended up winning the MVP,
what,
like
3
win the Super Bowl the very
first-rounders?
next year. Brought in Jared Goff, who was an afterthought. Like they thought he's a placeholder.
Yeah,
They're going
and
to
then-
replace him the next year.
And then on top of it, you speak of that, which I was about to ask you about. They bring in that extra first-round pick, take Jahmyr Gibbs, which at the time
it was
nobody understood that pick. And then now you look back on it a year and a half later, you're like, well, shit.
this guy might be the best running back in the league.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So it goes back
Yeah.
to what we're saying. Our problem has been drafting and developing and free agency and developing. Biggest thing this year has been free agents. The guys we brought in have sucked.
we
Lou
also
Anarumo
haven't hit
didn't
on a
go
draft
from a
class
guy
in 2 years.
who was considered to be a head coach to sucking all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I mean, it's talent, and
yeah.
that's the biggest thing is you bring in, you can keep this, in my opinion, you keep the same coaching staff in, you bring in talented players, we're going back to where we were. It's hard to lose Jesse Bates, who's an all-pro, DJ Reader, who should have been all-pro when he was here. Chibe Awuzie was our number one cornerback. You lose these guys, and you don't have anybody to replace them with. I don't give a crap who the coach is. You can't. It's hard to do that.
It's hard to replace that talent. I get it, but teams do it every year.
My thing that I look
No, they
at
don't.
is
no, they literally don't. They just said, like you said, the Patriots aren't. Say Bill Belichick isn't as good without Tom Brady. No, you don't. There's players you just can't.
There was
replace.
the Patriots that had Tom Brady and Randy Moss, which was above everyone else, and then there was the Patriots that had a bunch of shitty ass
And you
players
still had
that
Tom Brady.
still went
they,
to Super
they,
Bowl.
they
Tom
rarely
Brady.
had a good like.
We're
outside
talking
of-
really good
about,
defense.
and we're talking about a Patriots team that had Aaron Hernandez. Think about that. Think about that.
that dude killed, man.
I
Yeah. Last week.
I had a good comment to
Always
make, and now it blew through my brain. Shit. I was thinking back at the Jahmyr Gibbs, Matthew Stafford, and everything.
What was your initial
But,
reaction on that draft pick, by the way?
The draft pick or the trade?
The draft pick of taking Gibbs after signing
With the
Montgomery.
trade.
I was confused, but I did trust it. Dan Campbell's taken a lot of headlines lately, talking about how Dan Campbell's resurrected this team from the bottom of.
I
God,
legitimately
6 feet
think
under,
all
more like
53
18
guys
feet
would
under.
go to war for that. I think all 53
I mean,
guys would go to war for
The
that.
funny thing is when he got hired, everybody's making fun of him for
Oh
biting
well,
kneecaps.
and that's what
and
I
all
was
this
going to
stuff,
get at
and
is the biting kneecaps thing.
He's
And
like,
they-
now who's stupid?
he started that year off 0-10-1, and today is actually the 3-year anniversary of when they got their first win.
Yeah.
Under
And-
Dan Campbell.
And now they are the number one
And
team.
now
in the NFL.
and they've been, I think
They're
they're
the favorite.
30,
And also,
33-9
I would tell you
since
this
then.
too. It's also, and I think a lot of winning and everything is momentum. You know, once you
It-
get that momentum, and guys,
It's called. It
stepping-
starts the cult, like the culture.
It's culture. It's
Yeah,
and the
culture
thing-
and
I
and-
momentum.
only believe in culture for football. I don't
and-
believe in
and
it for
well,
most
and the
other
thing-
sports.
And the
I
Bengals
do for
had
football.
that for 2 years when it's a culture when you believe in your team and you believe
Yep.
what the coaches are saying. And you believe, all right, this
And-
guy goes down, the next man steps up. That is a culture. That is momentum.
Correct.
That is
Correct.
and it is a really thing. So a guy who isn't as good as the one he's replacing is just in the right spot.
Yeah.
Football
Yep.
is the most team-oriented sport around. You've got to be where you're supposed to be.
And I don't know if Zach Taylor has that trait.
I don't think he does.
I totally agree.
that's
That's not true
and
because if
that's
he doesn't,
what-
then how is he going to back-to-back AFC Championship games? So and how are you going from what the Bengals were to where they were in 2 years from what he got there? So that I don't agree that at all.
We're just giving a shout out to our boy Josh.
Oh, Josh ain't even listening to us.
He's got bigger
Yeah, but
priorities.
he's got other priorities.
I'll give a shout out to Brad Holmes. Dan Campbell gets all the headlines, but the GM of the Lions.
Yeah, like that's what I was talking about.
yeah.
How they went from being
I-
the laughing stock
his
to
very-
the envy of the
Yep.
league in 3
Yep.
seasons.
Brad Holmes got hired.
That was the Bengals in 2022 and 2021.
Realistically, didn't Jared Goff finish the game this year where he finished under 100 yards and the Lions still won by 40?
Yeah, yep. He had
Like, think
85.
about
He
that.
had 85 passing yards, and they won 52-6.
That's
I
like,
think.
this is why again the Bengals' problem is on defense. They don't have
Yeah.
talent. They don't like their entire scouting department can fit in my small SUV. 3 scouts, 2 direct But that's why I would love to see Ben
Is
Johnson.
that including the trunk
Yeah.
or no?
And I know you
They have 3
guys.
scouts.
I know you guys.
It would
Ben-
because
Ben-
the amount of mouths that would feed watching him and Jamar. T. Higgins is going to go, and that's
Yeah,
going to suck.
Can I say something here? One thing
No,
that
it's
does,
not your show. You're not allowed to say anything.
well, one thing that does, and I have a hard time with this, where people come back for say that Zach can't do what Dan Campbell's doing. I don't get that, because before, even last year, the people were saying he kept this team together. We lost Joe Burrow, and the culture that he built, and they kept this team together, and they almost made the damn playoffs. This year has sucked, all right? They have not done good. NFL teams have bad years. The Lions are going to go through it eventually. It's going to happen.
They went through it for the last 27 years, Jeff.
27. Try a bigger number than that.
My point is, where people just flip so daggone easy on a guy who, for 2 years, took us to the greatest 2 seasons we've ever had in our freaking history, and everybody's like, "Oh, he sucks." It's like,
Well,
the whole thing is like, "Oh, the culture he's building, bring the right guys in." They've screwed up the last 2 years. All right, they've screwed up. They haven't brought the right guys in.
I will posit this, and you're not wrong that he's like. I'm not saying
he's not. It didn't all of a sudden.
I'm not saying he's Dick LeBeau or Bruce Coslett, but I'm saying.
Marvin Lewis was here for 16 years. Couldn't win a playoff game.
They hit a couple drafts, or they hit one draft.
They hit 2.
They hit one draft, and they had multiple
free
agent hits, and that like.
And
that's built the team.
This year they hit on the draft picks. The last 2 years their free agency has sucked.
Yeah,
that has been the biggest problem.
I'm still optimistic about this year's draft, although it hasn't. Like, the players haven't progressed as well as I thought they would. I'm still optimistic about the guys that they got. Amarius Mims, like, legitimately looks like a franchise left tackle.
He's a dog.
I'm not sure what Zach did. Duke actually hit a draft, or a draft and a half, or whatever you want to say, even if he hit 2 drafts, and then they hit on free agency. And what difference did Zach make over another coach? The big thing that bothers me about Zach
culture,
is
changing 30 years of the Bengalism.
What?
I mean, that's
when the
Bengals
when the Bengals had their
changed it.
Super Bowl
Still
run,
ain't the
was
same
it
as
Joe
it was.
Burrow doing it, or was it maybe
All
on the
the
other
above.
side? It was
Right.
it was the defense that won them that champion. That
Exactly.
won them
No,
that AFC
I agree with you. It
championship.
wasn't defense, and the thing is, we lost talent off that defense. I mean, you just made my point.
I mean,
Lost
multiple guys-
confidence in that defense is, I think, the bigger thing.
Well, and the problem is the defense is eroded because they lost 2 defensive linemen that have hurt, Larry Ogunjobi, and then
They never did
DJ
replace him.
They lost Chidobe Awuzie
Then you
and
lose
Jesse Bates,
on the-
and then guys have just regressed. Sam Hubbard has gotten older, and he's unplayable. He's unplayable.
I think that
And
the thing
Jermaine
was
Pratt has gotten slow.
in that Super Bowl run. The biggest problem that everybody, the whole offseason, our offensive line. We got Super Bowl run. Super Bowl run.
Before or after?
Super Bowl run. After we went to the Super Bowl.
Okay, so
2020.
between the 21 and 22
Yes.
season. Okay.
Biggest thing was offensive line. And we went to the Super Bowl without one of the worst offensive lines ever.
Yeah.
So they tried to fix that, which they did.
They
You
drafted
say
a
what you
guy
want.
and brought in 2 free
You
agents.
say what you want. They did. It's better than it was.
They threw assets at it.
Yeah, they threw a lot of money at it. They neglected the defense.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They went from one side of the ball to the other. What they have to do is you got to be able to
Mix it up.
mix it up. And the thing is, what the Bengals have done when they've let guys go, they haven't had a plan to replace the guys. They had a plan with Jesse Bates.
They had a plan with Andrew Whitworth.
No, that was stupid.
I'm not saying it was a good call,
stupid.
but they had a plan with it.
Okay,
it didn't work.
He was awful when he played, so that was just dumb.
But also Jake Fisher, who ended up having to retire.
He was awful at Texas A&M.
Yeah,
I didn't say it was a good plan. They had a plan. It was just
their plan.
They
the plan with Jesse Bates was Dax Hill. That was the plan.
Yeah,
it didn't work, and they did not have,
playing out of position.
They did
out
not
of
have
position, injury.
I do want to say one more
have
thing.
A plan.
I'm not pushing your guys' buttons, but I got to go a little. Joe Burrow, the miracle worker. That Steelers game, I was out there freezing my nips off. How many turnovers did he have, and how many of those were returned for touchdowns?
How many of those were his fault, though?
I mean, you can't fumble the ball. I know the one was.
There was the fumble. He was on his third 3-step drop. As soon as he gets back to his third step,
you know what Jared Goff would have done?
taken a sack
He would have
because
taken
he was
a
on
sack.
his third. He was on his third step. No, I mean he was on his third step, and that was calling the pass.
I'm
Like,
saying
that's what-
if you remove the Steelers' defensive touchdowns from that game, the Bengals still win.
Well, but you also remove the Bengals' defensive touchdown when.
That's okay. Fair point. Fair point.
Like,
I-
I don't know if they could have thrown a flag.
Being
or they
devil's
should have thrown a
advocate
flag,
here, but
they
Joe
could've.
Burrow hasn't always been perfect.
Well,
He's been volatile at times.
He's been the best quarterback in the NFL by
by
if
the
you're looking at sheer
statistically,
stats, even
but
just looking at touchdown passes, interceptions,
yeah,
stuff
no,
like that. But if you're looking at, like,
yes, and I
grading,
100% agree with that. He is looking to make big play after big play, and it leads to big plays in the defense in some cases.
I like this comment from here. She says, they played chicken with players and no backup plan for the players left. That's exactly what I've been trying to say. If you'd let me talk, what the thing is, what I was trying to say is they had a plan. Bates. It did not work. They did not have a plan for Bell. Lou Anarumo said it's going to be a dark day if he loses both of them. They lost both of them. That hurt us bad. They did not have a plan for losing DJ Reader. They didn't. They hurried up and signed Sheldon Rankins. They need to have a plan. All right, look, if we're going to let this guy go, what are you going to do? Not, oh crap, now what? That's been the problem. The year they fixed the offensive line, they had a plan. They went out and they executed it. The last 2 years in free agency, they haven't had a plan. They signed Nick Scott, who sucked. They had a plan for Geno Stone. I'll give them that. They thought he would be good. He hasn't been. They need to get a plan. If this an A, B, C, D, E plan.
Okay.
You don't get this guy, you get this guy.
While we're
that's
talking
absolutely-
plans, what do you guys prefer in the plan with the whole T. Higgins, Jamar Chase situation?
I want
coming
to
up?
tag and trade. Actually, I'd rather sign him, but I like him to tag and
No,
trade.
what they should have done
They
what
should
they
have
should have
signed
done
him
is
a
they should have
fucking
traded
year
T
ago, but
after they signed the franchise tag. You should have sent him off for a second round pick or a third round pick, whatever you could have got for him.
I mean,
Then you back that bridge up in Paul Brown and you pay Jamar what he wants because now he's in contention for
and
some-
now
something
he
that's never
doesn't
been done.
necessarily want to be a Bengal anymore because he's probably
It's-
pretty fed up.
Chase, he's not. I will put every single penny to my name, all three of them, that Jamar Chase is not playing for another organization for the next 5
Okay.
years.
I believe you.
Bengals are going to sign him. He's going to be extended. It's going to cost more now. They have
Wait,
nobody.
you think the Bengals are going to sign T?
No,
No,
Chase.
T.
Oh.
Everybody knows T is gone.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
should have.
I was just curious.
And here's the issue with T. When he's on the field, he's legitimately one of the 10, 15 best wide receivers in the NFL.
But he
Yeah.
can't get through a practice.
He's like he misses 3-4 games a year. That's a big chunk of the season, and he wants unless you're going to pay him
He's going
escalators.
to get his money.
He's going to get guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And the Bengals are only going to offer escalators, which I get. I think that's smart for someone with his history. I think putting escalators into his deal is the right way to go. But he's going to go somewhere. Someone's going to pay him.
Yeah.
But do you agree with what I said? A tag and trade. I know that's the problem.
Tag and trade's the best situation
They
for T.
can
Higgins.
still do that this year. It's gone
Right.
up.
They
but
can't
they
do
can still absolutely. And I
because
think they need
realistically, they're not going to tag T for the second year. Everybody
they're
knows
not going to
that.
pay him under the
They're not
They're not going to pay him. No, but
But on top of it, you should have traded him at the beginning of the season, gotten you a second round draft pick or a third round draft pick. Jamar went from getting $40 million a year to
so
probably getting
hold on. I got a
45.
question. Let's just say the season went the way we wanted it to go, and the Bengals did what they did with T, and they win a Super Bowl. Are you still saying that?
Yeah.
No, you're not, because T would be on the team and then he contributed to winning the Super Bowl. No, you're not. You would be like, yeah, all right, have fun. We got a ring. Go get your money.
No, because you still want to get assets. You still want to get your assets because they're going to offer him money.
If they wait, was the question
That's
after?
the question.
I said, but you,
Was the question after winning the Super Bowl?
yes.
After the
That's what
Super
I
Bowl,
said.
you let him walk and then you test him. You don't
Right.
trade him then. You let him test the waters and then you.
All right, I'll try
continue to negotiate.
I'll try. Maybe I didn't say it right. The Bengals did what they did this year with T. They tagged him. The Bengals go and the season goes the way we thought it would.
And they go to a
They
Super
win
Bowl.
the Super Bowl with tagging T.
They win the
Okay.
Super Bowl with tagging T. Are you saying the same thing that they should have traded for a second round pick? No.
No.
So all right, so that's the thing. That's what drives me nuts. People are like, "Well, they should have done this." Of course, they should have done that. The Bengals season have sucked.
This sounds like
honestly,
sounds like a should we fire Ryan Day
I mean,
conversation.
that's Monday morning
Yeah,
quarterback.
we
I hate
could
that crap.
we could
but-
definitely
but-
talk
it's
about Ryan Day conversation.
Look, it's like all the talking heads on ESPN. Which I'm screaming. Oh, you should have done it. Well,
But
no,
I hate
man.
Ohio
It's all the
State. Do
results.
not like Ohio
No.
State at all. But it's just like, but if they win the national championship,
Are you for?
I would not have had a problem with them, no matter what
I'm a
happened this
Bear
year.
cat.
I
I
would
just
not
don't
have
like
had a
Ohio
problem if they
State.
would have traded T for assets because.
I would have because I wanted to win the Super Bowl, and I think he would have been a big thing. So
Wait,
yeah.
Trade-
But if you traded him before the draft and you used that draft pick to pick a rookie wide receiver, now granted,
Right.
the rookie wide receivers have not been good, especially after the first round.
This was not a draft to do that.
It was, I think, up until Lad McConkey's pick. Everyone drafted after Lad McConkey has been ass.
Right.
But they would have been able to pick
But, I mean, it
someone.
wasn't a good wide receiver draft to begin with. It wasn't.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't as deep. I mean, you still. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is still going near the.
You're not
still,
getting
still
him.
one of the top wide
You're
receivers
not
in any
getting Marvin
draft.
Harrison. Nobody's,
Malik Nate. Well, I know it would have been an
trading
early
Malik
second.
Higgins.
Marvin
so you can draft
Harrison-
Marvin Harris Jr.
Marvin
I mean,
Harris.
I'm just weighing the drafts. I'm weighing the
Marvin Harrison wasn't going out of the 5.
Right.
Malik Neighbors going out of the top 6.
Right. He would have been probably would have been a late first, early second. I can't remember who went around there. Like I said, it was. I think Lad McConkey is.
Brian Thomas was the 3rd receiver taken.
Okay, I think Lad McConkey is
I
he
guess-
was the last valuable receiver.
Lad McConkey
pick.
was
And
taken
after
second
him, He was in
round.
the second round. And guys after him
Have fallen off.
my point is, I get tired of people going, well, what they should have done was this.
Well, yeah,
Well, of course
you-
you're going to say it because you know the results.
Yeah,
That's what I hate
It's
about
all hindsight.
sport. It's all hindsight. Nobody in this freaking bar would have said, if you kept T for 1 year and you're guaranteed to win the freaking Super Bowl, oh yeah, trading. Nobody'd say that. If you're guaranteed to win the Super Bowl and you keep T,
Yeah, if you're guaranteed,
you'd
you-
say
But
every
if
single
you're
year,
guaranteed
say,
to
let's
win the
keep T.
Super Bowl,
Everybody, don't come here and say, oh, what they should have done is this. Bullshit, because the season, that's the way the season
who's
went.
guaranteeing?
Oh
Like,
my God.
who's giving you that guarantee before the season that you're winning a Super Bowl?
Right.
That's the whole point. That's
I
why we
understand.
wanted to keep them.
And
Hold on.
go,
That's
go.
what we were saying.
Right.
But everybody was saying that. I want to keep him because we're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Every Bengals fan was saying that. And Neil's going, well, we should have done this. You're saying that because
Well,
our
looking back
season
now,
sucks.
looking back now, we should.
Right. So there
But
you go.
before the season, realistically, before the season,
they
if,
would have done the same thing, and you would have done the same thing too because you thought you were going to win the Super Bowl.
yeah, exactly.
You make notes. I won't.
I'm going to weigh
Stop
this.
arguing.
I'm
Move on to
going to.
something else.
Hang
We
on.
don't need to keep arguing.
We'll move on to something else. This guy is
Maybe
a big stand for Fire Ryan Day, and I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
So let's debate it.
I love Ohio State tears.
I love whoever Ohio State is playing. Like last week was one of the greatest weeks that had nothing to do with my team's
I
winning
know.
because State or Michigan football or Michigan.
Playoff run. What do you do with Ryan Day?
Exactly. I'm
Jeff-
so
Jeff,
excited.
you take your screen
I'm
off.
so excited. Like, you know what? There's a good chance Ohio State just loses in the first round because their morale is so
My bad,
defeated.
Crip. I can't
But
leave.
yeah, if they go to the college football playoff national championship, what happens next? I am excited to see everyone reactions to that because
say they get to match up with Indiana in the first round of the playoffs.
Ryan
They
Day.
lose to Indiana. Do you see Ryan Day getting fired?
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
ridiculous.
I'm here for it.
The
Absolutely
Big
here for it.
Ten is outrageous. They're
All right,
not
so-
a good conference.
So my comparison for Ryan Day, you guys remember Cooper?
Yeah.
He's Cooper.
Oh
Cooper.
yeah,
Cooper would have the greatest
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
seasons. And I wouldn't got to be, I don't know what you said, but he would have the greatest season they could be Michigan.
What?
But yeah, but Cooper, that's what Ryan Day is right now.
I made that
What's-
same point. Like
what's-
he'll win. Like John Cooper would play in the Fiesta Bowl every year, but they lose to Michigan.
Well, what could save Ryan Day is if he does something in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
and
He ain't going to do
that's
nothing
where-
because they're all going to opt out. And then be like,
Well,
where are we
that's the
going?
thing though. It's like if he wins this whole thing, which I have no idea. I don't. If he does, he does. If he wins this whole thing, he's obviously going to stay. If it was like the old playoffs, they would have fired him at the Michigan game.
Same topic, but closer to home. But what happens if my Bearcats? What happens to Wes Miller if my Bearcats lose to Xavier again this year?
nothing.
Won't happen.
Nothing, but
Won't
we'll all be
happen.
They've
pissed.
been losing to that team in Norwood. Since Bob Huggins.
Since
unfortunately.
before I was born.
Yeah, it's.
Well, the Huggins had.
I don't know his record, but
I don't know what's right.
he also had two teams ranked number one in the country,
and they both lost. Yeah, I remember.
I'll tell you
he had a better record than the Mick Cronin, Brandon.
yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I don't see Cincinnati losing that game, and I'll state my reasons why.
I didn't see them losing to
yeah,
Villanova.
they just lost
did.
to Villanova. Now
But-
I'm like, fuck. Here we go.
There's potential Dan Skillings comes back on Sunday, and obviously being a journalist involved at UC, Dan Skillings is trending on pace to play Sunday. You get him healthy enough to play Howard, you give him a whole week heading into Xavier. Cincinnati's at full strength versus a banged up Xavier team that has no interior defense. They take advantage of the
I
size.
will not stand here for Zach Fremantle slander. I'm just
I
kidding.
will stand.
don't
He's
care.
been in college.
He's 75 years
He's
old.
been in college since
He
1999.
played under Bob
Xavier
Stack.
always finds a way. I was at the game when the Bearcats won it, but when Blew it put up like what 40 fucking points
So,
against
for some
us.
reason,
It's just
when
like,
Xavier-
God damn it, leave me alone.
When Xavier plays UC, for some reason, they can throw the ball from the stands and it goes in.
No,
It-
what
it-
happened?
Or
exactly,
Charles Williams
exactly.
trips over his dick, dribbles the ball off his foot.
Yeah, or
Or
that.
Lenny Brown banks in a three. Like,
Yeah.
Or the guy who's number 13 on scholarship comes in and puts up 30.
yeah, but
That's what
Right,
happened.
Yeah.
But realistically, Xavier has no interior defense this year. I think if Cincinnati gets Dan Skillings back fully healthy, which they should be on Sunday, they give him a week to prepare. I think Cincinnati at 5th, 3rd still
I
beats Xavier by 5.
hear you're saying on paper, but on paper, the Buckeyes should have beat Michigan by 50
Right.
points.
True, but it's Ryan Day.
Like,
Wow.
I have a lot more faith in Wes Miller. Than
Oh, yeah.
Ohio
I do too.
State
I
fans
like- I
have
like
right
him.
now.
and on top of it,
He's doing everything right except for fucking winning games. Goddamn.
realistically, say Cincinnati goes into this game, they fall against Xavier. Wes
I know.
Miller's job's nowhere near a hot seat right now.
Yeah, I agree, but
Because you look at everyone's going to look at that rivalry. You look at where he is with the talent that he's bringing in. He brought in a
National brand.
I know
national brand. You just bring in a guy who's top 15. You have a point guard who's
Yep.
top 50.
his best years are still to come. I agree,
Dylan-
but
Dylan
patience-
Mitchell, who was a
patience
McDonald's
is tough.
All-American.
The first 2 years, he didn't have his guys because he was still cleaning up the mess from
Oh,
John
God.
Brand.
John Brand. Oh, jeez.
It's funny that
I'll
I'm
say
still a
this.
John
There
Brandon.
are days where I
I
miss Mick Cronin.
I liked him.
Yeah, we weren't gonna go to a Final Four run with Mick Cronin, but damn, it was nice to at least be there.
John Brandon, I don't know if he would have been a good fit or a bad fit. I think his entire tenure was just completely run off the rails because of COVID.
COVID, yeah,
I
that
think
didn't help at all.
He was a lot more hard ass. I think he wanted to be Huggins. I don't know. Terry Nelson had a lot.
I was
Terry
about to bring
Nelson
that
had,
up. Go ahead.
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He had a lot of great things to say about John Brandon. So that right there,
That's why I'm
colored
a
my
Brandon.
opinion a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I think Brandon got a raw deal, to be honest. And I mean, who knows? I mean, I like Wes. I think Wes is getting us back to where we were.
A national brand.
Yes, and that's I don't know if Brandon could have done it. I have no idea. He's only here 2 years. That's why I say you always got to give a college coach 3 years. And I said it for Sat. Next year, if he doesn't, if Sat doesn't make a bowl game
We
next year,
said that last year.
Yeah.
No, well, I didn't. I didn't. No, I
get
said.
his point. Let him say
what?
his point here.
My point is, you got to give a guy 3 years. It'd be nice if somebody let me finish my point. Now,
Why start now?
but yeah, you got to give college coach 3 years, and if he doesn't make it next year, he's gone. He's got to be gone. There's a chance for me that I would be okay if he's gone this year because of the collapse, and it was a collapse. You need to win one game. You lost 5. One game to make a bowl. You make one win. It changes your offseason. It changes everything. You go from a bowl game, either you win or you lose. You're in a bowl game, and you're a Big 12 team. You go from that to 5-2. 5-2 is where they were at.
To 5 and 7.
To beating Arizona State. Arizona State went down to St. Levitt, but
We were at that game.
Right, exactly. Like yeah, they were down Sam Levitt, but that's not the same Arizona State. Like Sam Levitt is not a All-American quarterback. He's fine. He's a decent quarterback, but
He'll be an All-American quarterback in 2 years.
you think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think he's fine, but he's not the reason that team went on the run and that team's in the Big 12 championship. You see, punked them. See,
Yeah, they did.
absolutely was the more physical, more impressive team. Then that happened, and then they absolutely just the only reason that I would give a coach less than 3 years is if something catastrophic happens, like you have some crazy ass like abuse scandal, something screwed up like that. There goes my mouse. Or you lose. Like the culture is because so many guys. It's early. The transfer portal. You don't hear who's coming in. A lot of guys are transferring. A lot of like guys decommitted. They had the 16th rated draft or a 6th rated recruiting class out of 16 schools in the Big 12. Things look ugly, and I don't think he works past next year. And I think that's why the recruiting class was so crappy because guys coming in,
they're leaving. Yeah, they're losing guys.
Right, and they flipped the guy from Buffalo. They flipped the guy from Wyoming.
They're getting MAC school guys.
Mountain West. They flipped those guys.
I'm ready for Satterfield to run for Senate.
Right. See, I was so tempted to go down near the tunnel to cuss out Satterfield, to have him do a viral, to tell me to go get a
Go to hell. Get a job.
I was so tempted. My wife and I left at halftime. That's the only reason why I didn't do it.
And look. Tommy Tuberville was awful. I think actually Satterfield is actually better because I do think he
for sure.
did a good job of bringing. They're more talented this year than they were last year.
He's brought in some decent guys from the portal.
It just didn't add up or come to fruition when it counted. And to me, that's on him.
Yeah,
because the quarterback got worse.
Yeah.
He looked really good.
He has to be hiding an injury. Nothing was said.
Something
came back. He stopped throwing the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
And when he was throwing him, he's missed the game the first game he dropped it in on him.
Yeah.
It was a great throw. Something's going on.
Weird. But
you don't just all of a sudden forget how to do it.
Again, we're talking about Saturday, and again, my problem is I think a lot of the recruits know that he's a lame duck this year because he's getting that third year, and unless he goes 7-5, 8-4, he's gone. And I think that's why a lot of the recruiting sucks.
The realistically reason why people are like, obviously I see where the fans are coming from. They're frustrated. Cincinnati was going to move on from Scott Satterfield following the TCU loss because 7.19 is on the buyout, the exact same as what it would be from a year ago. Yeah. You still have to give a coach 3 years. I've always said that. But on top of it, the buyout's still going to be the same. You give him the third year, you see what happens.
It'll be a couple million less come January 1.
Yeah, and then when January 1 comes next year, if things trend south, the buyout falls. But obviously, right now, you still got to give a guy 3 years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My issue is,
this
is more just as a football coach. I don't like him as an X's and O's guy. I really don't like
I think realistically,
he needs to give
defense.
up.
What's that?
You really love his defense.
I think realistically,
3-3-5 can work if you have the right athletes.
He didn't have the right guys.
And the defense actually got better. And they were past defense was bad, and they lost a lot of guys. Guys are transferring out already, which is concerning. But the run defense actually by the year. If you have the right guys, that 3-3-5 defense is fine. They didn't do it. They rushed 3 a lot of times, dropped 8 in coverage.
I don't.
And guys were open all over the field.
You're talking too highly of our football program right now. I mean,
it was a 3-3-5.
We're a basketball school and then a baseball school.
Hey, I'm here for UC baseball. Buddy of mine covers UC baseball, and I'm Jordan Bishop. That guy is doing things.
First year in, damn, he brought that program from the dumps to. That was a lot of fun. I was at that game when what's his name? Forget him. Played 4 years.
The Cross.
They hit the Grand Slam game winner against Oklahoma.
Carrington Cross.
Cross, yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That was so fucking fun when he did that. His first home run of his career. He played for 4 years.
I need to get
do
down
it that way.
I needed to get down to. Have they named it yet? They're still waiting to.
No,
to name
there's still
it.
no naming rights.
But they're working on it.
Yeah, it's still UC baseball.
Okay,
Stadium.
I know they're working on it.
All right, hold on. This is a good question here from Sir here. She said, random thought here. Side note: what do you guys think about the possibility of Bill Belichick coaching college football this year? She said, bring him to UC. That's not going to happen. But
he just had a second interview with UNC.
Oh, you see?
Hey, at UNC.
UN,
Yeah,
North
UNC,
Carolina,
yeah.
North Carolina.
That one surprises me. Of why would he go there?
that-
And why would he go to college?
Bill
Well,
Belichick will fail in that role.
Right.
There's just no way.
He is not going to want to handle all of it. But you have to recruit
NILs
your
and
own
everything.
team every single year.
And
He's
got
not
to
doing that.
deal with the
I don't-
NILs and
I
everything.
don't know. Bill Belichick could probably sell NIL, but the thing is, UNC has talent.
I think the only reason he wants to
No
go to
doubt.
college is to scoop out a new ex-wife.
I was just gonna say the girls are much younger than in the NFL.
He's like 85 years old, and he's out there scoping 18-year-olds. Like,
Yeah.
you're a creepy ass old man.
Yeah, he's out there to win football games.
He might take. I don't know. To me, he's not a college coach. He's like maybe taking going, hey guys, I want to coach. You guys don't come get me soon. I'm gonna take. I don't know. I'm just throwing it up there. UNC
It's weird.
UNC is going to have to offer him, make him probably arguably the highest paid
Athletic
college
director.
coach.
He's going to have to be the athletic
He's
director.
going, yeah, he will have to take the athletic director role down there.
It's
I just don't
weird.
see it.
It's so
It's
fucking
weird.
weird.
That when I heard that a couple days ago, I'm like,
I don't
really?
even think it would be interesting. Like, at Wing puts here something.
I
it
don't
could be
think
like Coach
Bill
Prime.
Belichick is built to handle.
He could be like
18
Coach
to
Prime. I don't think
22-year-old
it's going to be
kids.
entertaining like Prime. I think it's just going to be just this sad kind of guy that can't keep up with like. Again, he couldn't keep up with NFL because nobody does the GM head coach anymore. There's much involved.
So I'll bring this back here. Wing says surprise. It is well, but it's downgrade, but it could be like Prime. Prime is
Prime's a different situation.
Prime is a salesman.
He's a brand.
He's a brand. Yeah,
Bill
Bill
Belichick-
Belichick would be a brand, but
He's a creepy,
but
pissy
Prime,
old man.
all right, this way. When Prime took over the
Jackson State.
Jackson State, I'm like, really? But he built that.
Yeah, but look
that-
what happened.
And then abandoned.
And the thing is, and he built it by NILs.
No,
Yeah.
what
So
he
that's
did
where
with
he
Jackson State,
works. So on. He proved that he can do the NILs and he can get the talent. That's where I think Prime works better in college. And Bill Belichick might be able to. I don't know. But that's
He's
what
old.
Prime did.
I don't get
You
him
got-
wanting to do it.
Right.
You got to think
I-
too. When Prime took over that Jackson State job, Travis Hunter was 16, committed to Florida State since
Yeah.
he was 16.
Right.
Takes over the job. National Signing Day comes, he flips Travis Hunter. Not only do you flip Travis Hunter, you flip the number one overall prospect, who they probably paid an absolute boatload
Oh, absolutely.
and NIL aspects. And then on top of it, now he's your Heisman favorite.
Yeah.
So
You bring
I'm sorry.
All right.
Boulder's a beautiful city. Who the fuck wants to go to Colorado and
Right.
play games in the fall and winter when
So
it's cold?
that-
Nowhere.
that how much money does North Carolina got to pay? They got to pay, I think, Bill Belichick a lot of money.
Belichick will
And then
probably
they-
have to get
and-
9 to 10 a year.
Hold on. And then they got to overpay for players in NIL to get them to come there.
I think the idea would be you're going to overpay. You're overpay. I don't.
What? It's going to cost a
Right.
lot of money to get talent.
You're going to pay Belichick a lot of money,
And the players.
but I think they're hoping is he can draw those. North Carolina's a big ass school, and they have a lot of money. Now, granted, most of that money. I think they think they're a sleeping giant in football
If
because
they
they have a lot of money. They have a huge, wealthy, very wealthy dope base.
well, they're going to have
North
to.
Carolina's
They're going to
like-
have to pull this off.
I think that's their hope in going after.
I mean, the
this. I'm not
greatest
saying
player-
I don't think it'll work. I'm saying I see why. I just
That-
don't
I
think
guess
Belichick
that's
works.
my point. That's exactly what I'm saying. To pull it off, they're going to have to use all that money.
They're gonna have to tap into all of their again.
Yeah.
North Carolina is one of the
They're going to bring Michael Jordan in to recruit
Michael-
football.
one of the
Michael
best
Jordan will-
academic schools, which means they've got a lot of very wealthy donors.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
those wealthy donors are going to
You
step
know,
up a lot from the
you know who the
Not-
most legendary player for North Carolina is?
Mitch
Giovanni
Trubisky,
Bernard.
No, Lawrence Taylor.
Lawrence Taylor. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty damn good.
Well, right,
But,
but
that was in the early '80s.
probably the
But
best outside
on
linebacker
top
rusher.
of
I don't know what exactly he'd be considered, but best pass rusher.
Best player. They
Ask,
ran.
ask Joe Theismann's leg.
Yeah, exactly.
On top of it, if you bring Bill Belichick
The
to
horror
UNC,
in his face after he snapped his leg, like him frantically waving the trainers over after his leg snapped like a tooth.
So
On
Brad,
top-
hold on. Brad says he's still interviewed for West Virginia.
I don't think
No.
so.
I
no
haven't.
chance.
heard
No way.
that. I don't know.
No way on that one. But on top of it, if you bring Bill Belichick to UNC,
Maybe he interviewed. Like, but Brad, we're not disagreeing. I don't
We
think
don't
there's
know.
any chance in hell he's going to take.
nobody wants that West Virginia. I can see that, right?
It's fucking West Virginia. Who wants to live there?
I mean,
You know, we
But on top of it, so say Bill Belichick goes to UNC. Not only on top of it, are you going to have to give him $9-10 million a year?
a lot.
You're going to have to give him an shitload. And
For the staff?
For the staff.
Yeah.
Like
and for the
money.
and for the
Guys,
support positions, you're gonna have to have. I don't know if they have a GM or
Cincinnati gave Scott Million $11 million for his assistants.
That floored me. How much money they gave.
That is one of the top.
That's a lot for you.
That was a huge investment. That made me happy to see they had that investment.
Okay,
But
so
on
you
top
remember,
of it-
you remember when Rick Benner was here?
They gave what, $11?
And we lost how many assistants? I mean, Mike Tomlin was one of the assistants.
The Harbaugh.
Harbaugh was one of the
Jimbo
assistants.
Fisher.
Yeah, there's so many we lost. Good.
But on top of it, you give Cincinnati got $9 million or $11 million in assistant salary pool.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick will demand probably close to 15, 16.
Yeah.
On top of it, realistically, and I mean, you look at what the caliber of coaches was good. Because I can promise you, if Bill Belichick takes a coaching job, Bill O'Brien will be leaving Boston College.
Yeah.
He'll go right back with Bill Belichick, even if that means roll
Would
down.
Vrabel go just for the
Would Vrabel go just for the shits
Right,
of it?
exactly.
Like,
And
You
that's the
never
thing.
know.
He would build a staff like Dion. Dion's got
could you
NFL
imagine?
players on there.
Could you imagine again whether you're going to draw guys to go to Chapel Hill? Bill Belichick is a head coach, and then Bill O'Brien and Mike Vrabel as your coordinators with college kids. I mean, you could feast off that. I just don't see it
I
happening.
mean, look at primetime staff. I mean, you have Robert
Yeah,
Livingston on the DC.
Can we bring Robert Livingston back as the D coordinator?
You
next
have.
year?
You also have.
legitimately
For the Bearcats?
no
Bengals.
for the Bengals.
You left
Legitimately.
Cincinnati for Colorado, and then on top of it, on prime staff, you have Warren Sapp.
Yep.
Who coaches your D line? They have another.
Who's their wide receiver coach?
Can't remember,
I think it's a former NFL player.
but they have 3 or 4 former NFL guys on their staff.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's all I was just saying. He'd have a staff like Dion. But I'll put it this way. I'm here for it. I'd be so interested to see how Belichick would do in college. And who Belichick and I just saw this. What if Bill's not getting the interest from NFL teams
I mean,
that thought he would?
he's 78.
So-
I mean,
so-
I would give him that kind of interest.
I lied.
either.
They've got a nobody's wide receivers coach, Jason Phillips. I'm saying
All right,
nobody,
so-
but
so
not a big name.
So hear me out. Hear me out. Say he's not getting the interest from NFL teams because he wants. I think he really wants to be the all-time winning NFL coach. I think that's his
How
goal.
close is he?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know he's not far away.
Not less than 100. Less than 100 wins. But I don't know. But I think that's his ultimate goal. So what if he's not getting any interest? He's like, all right, screw you guys. I'll go show you what I can do in college. And then he's there for a year or two, and oh my God, he's really good, and they want to bring him back.
Or he goes to college and then he goes 4-8.
Which
You
he
never-
could, yeah. I don't know.
It's taking.
But I mean,
a
if that's the only,
tremendous-
if that's the only interview he's getting, and he really wants to coach,
Is he 78?
yeah, he's
He-
old.
he's old.
Yeah, he's
Like,
old.
His next job is going to be the job that he
Goes
that's
into
going to be the office he
retirement.
dies from.
Could be.
I mean, the amount of stress on coaches and everything. Like, that's the job he's going to not retire from. They're going to haul, like, someone's going to haul his ass to the coroner's office from the office.
So Wing Esther says, yeah, good. Belichick does not have Deion swagger, but it's interesting to think about it. He doesn't have the swagger, but he's got the rings. You don't when you
You
win,
got skins on the wall.
yeah, when you win as much as Belichick, you don't need the swagger. I mean, look, if I'm a college player, I got a chance to go play for a 7-time winning head coach. I mean,
Right.
he won it the corner. Well, he won it twice with the Giants. That's 9 times.
The only question that I like, there's a difference between players winning and players developing and making it to the league.
That's the thing.
That
Can't-
would be the question.
Which he would know. He would know what it would take to get to the league.
Right. He knows what those
Right.
guys are looking for.
Right. So I don't know.
I'm not disagreeing with
Yeah. So I got a question. If your son, what if he was,
you. Good at anything.
Yeah.
I love my son. He's the smartest.
Hell,
One of the smartest people I've ever met in my life.
All right. Let's say
not
he's
now.
the top recruit. Bill Belichick comes knocking your door. Hey Joe, how you doing? Hey Joe, how you doing? We'd like
I
to
was
try
selling the
to,
Aflac
try
with
to
Coach Prime.
yeah, we tried to get
You'll save it.
your son to North Carolina. Would you be interested? You got to talk like this. We're doing Bill Belichick.
How much money are you offering?
So you go straight
That's a
for the
valid
money.
question.
So,
No,
so
that's a valid question.
That's it. Would you go straight for the money or the money you get, but the best situation to better your son to get to the NFL?
I honestly I don't know because there's a matter of whether like
It's an interesting question. I have no idea.
Exactly, like because he doesn't have a track record
In college.
because he hasn't coached in college,
Right.
Of taking a raw, basically you're taking a high school kid. Yeah, an 18 or 17, 18-year-old high school kid is so much more advanced athletically and strength and conditioning than they were 20 years ago.
Oh God, yeah.
But you're still getting a hunk of clay that has to be molded.
And the thing is, if you look at it at his track record,
and he doesn't have the track record up because he hasn't done it. He doesn't have a list of guys. Listen, these are the guys that I took that play your position that have made it to the NFL first-round picks. And I think that's where a lot of these coaches will, especially position coaches, have an edge because, listen, we've taken these guys. They were 3-star recruits, 4-star recruits, had them drafted in the first round. Belichick's like, yeah, I won a lot of rings with the greatest quarterback of all time that was an afterthought of a draft pick.
And who were the draft picks that he brought in? He didn't bring in young guys. He brought in veterans.
Yeah,
like he never was, like the thing was.
I don't know enough. Like they always had a good offensive line, but
the thing
were they
was,
drafted or brought in?
But the thing is, they always like toward the latter years, they always brought in a veteran guy who's looking to win a ring, and he would fit into the Patriot way.
Ronnie Harrison, for
God's sake. Right. I mean, so there's never. I can't. I mean, I can't think when he got Brady. I can't think of a first-round pick or a draft pick that was highly recruited that they drafted.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he brought
Troy
in.
Brown was an original. Like Troy Brown was.
He was there. I think he was there.
Was he a Patriot draftee?
He was there before Belichick got there. I think
so.
I
think. He was also a wide receiver that they made a cornerback because they had nobody else to.
Right. I guess my point is, he didn't work with young guys in the NFL. He wanted better.
I know. That's what I'm trying. Again,
so that's where I'm like,
follow them.
Will
so
it work?
I've watched their
yeah,
games.
That's
but
I'm
like, I don't know the roster, how the roster was constructed. Because they were.
It was
veteran ends. They were good job of they were killer drafting tight ends.
I'll give it. You're Gronk. You got Gronk. So that was.
They also had Aaron Hernandez. You guys can never forget Aaron Hernandez.
I would like to, but you two keep bringing him up.
It's that
University of Connecticut Husky legend. Aaron Hernandez.
It's like that Kent Murphy video where he hits that home run. He goes, "Gone forever." Aaron Hernandez.
Ray Caruth thought he was a great draft pick.
Right.
Jovan Belcher wishes he had his career.
But that's my point. Is like he didn't work with young players in the NFL. Not really.
Jovan Belcher's a dark one because he took his family out before taking himself out. That's dark. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for that. I apologize for Joe again. So Jen's like, we're done. Producer says we gotta go. So I want to make this point. My thing is, he didn't work with young players in the NFL. How's he going to work with younger players in college? That's where that's the question.
That's what you are. Like that's the question. You're making a shitload of money on that, and I don't have the answer for you.
So Deion Branch. Did he draft Deion Branch?
Yeah, he was out of Louisville.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. So if you guys want to hear more of this interesting conversation and everybody argue with me, come on down to Millions every night. We're down here. Well, sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 6:30. I think it's supposed to be 6:30 to 7.
Did you get your feelings hurt?
6:30 to 7:30.
Did you get your feelings hurt tonight?
What?
Did you get your feelings hurt tonight?
I got pissed off. I'll tell you that. When I make good points and nobody fucking listens to me, yes. Yeah, I get a little irritated.
Why start now?
Yeah, I know, exactly. So if you guys want to come down and hurt my feelings.
Hey, hold on. Shout out Harrison. Harrison, if you see this episode tonight, we're backing you up, my guy.
How are you backing him up?
Backing him up?
Because we bully Harrison every time.
No, we bullied Joe.
Right, you bully me.
Yes.
Backing Harrison up tonight.
Harrison gets a reprieve because Funny Bone?
Yeah, Harrison's at the Funny Bone today.
Yeah, if you guys hopefully are going, we'll show at 6.
I don't know. Next Saturday, Bearcats and Muskies play early at 2. He's got 2 shows I think at Comet in Northside.
Yeah,
I will be there. I told him in person to his face.
Yeah,
that my wife and I will be there. So I will look like an asswipe if I don't show up.
That's before the game.
That's the number one Bearcat or number one Bengals fans outside of this guy to my right and to my left.
No, he's a bigger He's a.
Trust me.
He's a
Trust
Jeff
me.
Trenopole
Me and Harrison are way bigger fans than Joe. Joe's too much of a realist.
He's an irrational, feelings not fact Bengals fan.
Well, that's
go support him. True. He has been down bad lately. Obviously, if you've seen his Instagram post,
he picked a banger of a song. I gave him credit.
I want to talk to him about
on Bended Knee.
So awesome.
On Bended Knee, Boys the Men, 2, great album. That song is amazing.
The Jelly Roll song was fantastic.
I mean, he stripped out. I did not want to see him strip to his What's funny as shit? Like I commented like on Twitter, they're like him stripping down to hit like bare chested. Like I did not want to see that before I eat. Who do I see at dinner? I see his ass at the restaurant.
I know. So I tried to ask him, but no, he did outside Paycor. Like people, just thinking people walking by going, "What the
That's
fuck
like,
is
that's
he
what
doing?"
was happening. Like he kept having like stop and start. He's like, so I feel like so.
Oh, you asked him about it?
Yeah. I asked
Okay,
him
well,
about it.
all right.
So
Good.
that night, he's like,
What
I kept having to stop and start because everyone kept walking up and looking at me. Because obviously they don't know what the hell song is going on. For the record, can we recro everyone? Rick Astley's playing on TV screens.
I
over
wish. Can we bring that up? I wish I could bring that up. Can you bring that up? No, not that. Not that.
here. Never gonna give you up.
No, his video.
Never gonna let you down.
Oh my God.
We're talking about
Bring
Harry
what up?
video.
Joe,
Sorry.
Joe, can you bring up Harrison's video? Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, not on the phone. Bring it on the computer.
Share screen.
Yeah, share screen. Try that because everybody, if you have not watched Harrison, if you guys are not following Harrison, you've got to follow this dude. He is freaking hilarious. Joe, bring it up here, hopefully, and we'll try to play this video because I've been dying to find out. The man is outside Paycor, lip singing to Boys to Men, doing it to a T. If you're a Boys to Men fan of the '90s, like I was, to a T of what they do in the video. He's out in public doing this, ripping his shirt off, singing, and it's just freaking hilarious. And he was outside the car, which is surprising to me. You find it yet?
I'm working on it.
All right, we're working on it here. Again, we are live at Millions. We are already over time here. It's 7:41. We're supposed to already end it, but I want to play this video. It is awesome. So you guys should come down here every Friday night. Sometimes we have drunk people on here. We had Josh on here last week, and
Josh was a great time. I hope he's having a great night tonight.
Josh is being a good boy, and he's ignoring us.
Nah, he's talking. He's
Josh.
talking to the ladies tonight.
Oh, Josh. He's ignoring us. So come on down.
They're talking to you, Josh.
Exactly. He's not listening to us. So, we're about to bring this up here. There it is. Yep. Okay. All right. You guys got to watch this.
If only we had the TVs connected on in here.
I know. I wish we did. Huh?
Yeah, then let's stay quiet, Jeff, because it's only good with.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Turn this up. Yeah. I got you. Well, all they're going to hear in here is the song. They're not going to see the video. How many drunk people are there? How many people are drunk in here?
Are there any drunk people
Are
in
they-
the crowd? People at the bar, is there anybody drunk or at least somewhat lit? Yes, Jeremy, he was down on bended knee. It was fantastic.
Trying to focus it.
Super Bowl matchup. Who do you guys got?
I appreciate the confidence going shirtless. Right.
How cold was it?
Strangers. It was Wednesday. It was cold as shit. It's like 30 degrees.
He's crazy. All right. What? We're one
Super Bowl match. Who do
We
you
for
got?
too long.
Super Bowl matchup. Who we got? I got the Lions and the Bills.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Lions and the
It's,
Bills.
we know it's going to be the fucking Chiefs.
I'm scared of. I'm
We
scared
know
of.
it's
The,
gonna
I'm
be the
scared of the
fucking Chiefs.
Eagles.
I'll put it to you this
Not
way.
scared of the Chiefs.
I think I honestly, and I don't want to see it at all. I think it's going to be the Eagles and the Chiefs.
I'll put it to,
And I am
I'm
not
scared
going to
of the
watch a second
Eagles.
of it.
Scared of the Bills.
Yeah.
Not scared of the
I'll put it to you
Chiefs.
this way. Anybody but the Chiefs. Other than that, I don't care.
I would love for the Bills to make it. I would love for, I guess, just the Bills because fuck Steelers, fuck Ravens. I don't know whoever comes out of the like who's even winning in the NFC or in the AFC South.
AFC South. AFC South.
It's Houston.
Oh,
Houston,
yeah,
I
Houston.
don't think. I mean, Houston's not playing well, They're playing well enough because it's a
But
crap
they're
division.
probably the best team in that division. Though.
Right,
Yeah, they're
right.
definitely
But
winning.
they're winning because the crap division.
Right.
It's going to be Steelers, Ravens, Bills.
And NFC
Chiefs.
South. NFC South. We're going with the Buccaneers. Yeah. That's how I kiss ass to my wife. Yeah.
What about fucking Jameis Winston?
She
Legend.
loves
He
Jameis
is
Winston.
so
Legend.
fun. Like he is
Legend.
the
My
funnest
wife loves
That
Jameis
guy,
Winston.
that guy is a walking legend.
Hey, that
I
9
hope
minute
God delivers me or
Win.
stops delivering pick sixes,
sixes,
whatever the
crazy.
fuck. His biblical
Crazy.
verses just ridiculous.
But dude, people run through a wall for that dude. They love playing for him. They do. I mean, he is a leader. I
Can
mean,
we
he,
just talk about how dude stole crab legs and got his life changed around?
That guy is the epitome of the Browns too. He's on a perfect team.
there you go.
He's at least he's a funny as hell. Like his press conferences.
I'm gonna eat that
are
dub. I'm gonna eat that
fucking
dub.
quiet.
I saw someone on Twitter say, "I want Jameis Winston on an NFL team so bad. Not my team, but on an NFL team."
Could you imagine him on Radio Row during Super Bowl week?
Oh God. Oh, he's got
He would be he would be the guy that everyone is lined up. There'd be 150 credential media members in front of him, just waiting for him to say just some of the craziest shit.
his
Hey.
future is a #1 analyst on some NFL network.
Imagine-
I hope he doesn't.
No-
do it. I hope he
no
does like
way.
his own studio.
No
Hey,
one's gonna hire
Imam-
that guy.
Imam-
He has a
For an NFL
He's
TV
got a
job.
checkered history.
Oh, God,
I don't
yeah.
think they're gonna
Oh,
let
imagine-
something
he's way too
accidentally
good. He is
slip.
Imagine if
opinionated.
all the
Oh, he'll be
guys
great.
in here were 60 right now and Jameson Winston came home to meet your daughter. What's your first reaction
Oh shit.
I
after seeing an interview
he
game?
has a little history of SA, so he would get right out the door.
when women are claiming assault, you don't touch that unless you're the Browns.
Yeah,
He come
exactly. Like no. You get the fuck out of the house. You stay here. I've got a 9-year-old daughter.
he delivers a I hope God helps me from throwing pick sixes, and then he's home to meet the next night he's at family dinner, and it's like, oh, okay.
What did he say before that Steelers game? That one's still. What was it before that Steelers game?
For which game?
The Steelers game, the Thursday night
Was that
football.
the snow game? That was the snow game, right?
Give her. Give that girl a mic. Give
What-
her a mic.
Bring your mic
What
down.
was
Hey,
his
bring your mic
biblical
down.
verse before that game, though?
Well, nobody can hear you though.
Hang on. Who's us? You're saying you guys. Who's you guys?
Boo.
You guys are a
Boo,
better organization than the
Wendy.
Bengals. I'm not going to talk shit. I don't like the Steelers, but they're a winning organization. I'm not talking shit.
Go sports.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's easy to travel when they don't have jobs. Steelers fans travel. Steelers fans will travel across the country. Like I'm not. Hey,
All right. On that note, we're going to end this thing. It says nobody can hear what you. I love you. Thank you for talking, but nobody can hear what you're saying on the internet. We are live at Millions. It's a fun time here. Hey Neil, before I let you go, compose yourself here. Tell everybody where they can follow you at.
Yeah, so you guys can find me at cincinnati.rivals.com. I work for the front office news, cincinnati.rivals.com. You can find me over on Twitter at MeyerNeil6, and then I work
The
for,
horse is ready for battle. That's the one I was thinking of.
and then I'm the co-host
Oh,
of the Bearcat
Jameis.
Blitz podcast as well, so you can
Jameis,
find me
good
over there.
Lord.
I didn't hear what he said. He kept talking. What'd you
did
say?
you?
You can find me over on Twitter at MeyerNeil6 or MeyerNeil6 at Twitter. Cincinnati.rivals.com. I'm the beat writer for the front office news who covers Cincinnati University. And then I co-host Bearcat Blitz podcast, so you can find me out all over the place.
Everywhere. Go follow him. He's a good follow if you're a Bearcat fan. Joe, what the hell do you want to say to hurt my feelings before we leave?
He's the beat writer. I'm the beat boxer. You can follow me. And I'm just kidding. No, I got nothing. This is fun as shit. I got to pee. Everyone have a wonderful Friday night. It's fucking cold outside, and I don't want to go to my car, so I'm going to have another couple drinks.
All right. Thanks, Joe. Anyway, guys, we've been live down at Millions Sports Cafe. Come on down every Friday. We're down here having a good time. We'll give you a live mic. you're a Steelers fan, you're a Browns fan, whatever, come on down here. You can talk shit, have some fun. I want to give a shout out to my sponsors here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Shout out to Priority Lawn and Landscaping. If you guys are looking for lawn care, landscaping, snow removal, leaf removal, give Priority Lawn and Landscaping a call. Also, shows you Midwest Best Barbecue. It's the best wings around. Go check them out. Tim and Nicole, I sent you. They're at Ward's Corner Avenue exit. Also, shows brought to you by Meyer Windows and Doors. Check them out at www.meyercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. And my West Side peeps. If you're not, want to drive over to the East Side, which I highly recommend, come to the East Side. But if you come to Millions, if you don't, Harry's, it's the game right in the heart of Chevier. And we are live Tuesday night, Moreland Lager House. We're going to have Bronson Arroyo at the Moreland Lager House. I'm very excited. So this is what's going to be cool about this. So he has an album out, and he's going to actually perform live at Moreland Lager House. So I'm telling you now, get there. There's no tickets required. Just get there, get your seats, get your reservations, whatever. Get you some delicious prime rib that night. It's prime rib Tuesdays. Also,
buy me a drink.
Buy Joe a drink. But no, your drinks are free. I pay for your drinks. Oh, say I pay for your drinks. So anyway, yeah, I pay for them. Anyway, but it's a happy hour starts at 3:00, goes till 9. That means $5 drafts, house wines, well drinks, and $2 off appetizers. So again, come this Tuesday to Moreland Lager House. I would greatly appreciate it. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day. I will see you back Monday, and we will discuss. We'll discuss a Bengals win because they're playing Monday. A second here. This is the bull prediction by what is this? Say it again.
We're feeling the Reds are going to make an acquisition, an actual impact acquisition over the weekend.
Ooh.
There's some things are starting to break, so I think either the trade market, free agent market, Reds will have a decent acquisition to talk about.
The winter meetings now?
Next week.
Next week, all right.
I think. I don't know.
All right, so heard it here first. We'll have hopefully some Reds talk. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful Friday night. Go drink a beer for me, and that's your sports, baby. See ya!
Weekday nights, the city roars. Tune in loud, turn up some more. Cincinnati show, it's time to play. Sports with strawberry ice today. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ices on the mic, energy, it's good delight. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse, it's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Every touchdown, every goal. Feel the pulse that's in your soul. Cincinnati heartbeats strong. Strawberry ice will lead the throng. Feel the crowd, it's electric now. Shouting loud, they all know how. The CTV got what we crave. Sports with ice, it's waves and waves. Tigers strike and Bengals roar. Every game we want some more. Tune in and feel the thrill. Strawberry ice, he's giving chills. 5:30 sharp, don't be late. TTV, the sports awaits. Strawberry ice, he's on the mic, energy, it's good delight.